we're live. Wunderbar. Okay. So, wonder if anybody is around aside from ourselves.
See?
We'll have to wait and see.
Share this link around.
All right. Bum, bum, bum. Hasbro Cinematic Universe. Why, thank you, Archivator, for joining us right off the bat. And then, yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they did that. I mean, they did that in the comics with a lot of their titles in IDW.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised if they wanted to do a Hasbro Cinematic Universe. I mean, that's what everything wants to do nowadays. It's just because of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It's just like, let's do that with ours. Like that failed monster, like Dark Universe.
Yeah.
Wait, did you just tweet the link?
What?
Oh, there it is.
Oh,
no. Yeah, that's it.
Are you trying to find the channel or something?
No. It was giving me like a weird thumbnail, so I wasn't sure what I was looking at. But now we're good.
Oh, okay. Oh, I get it. Arkham Vader's trying to meme me. I get it now. No Infinity War spoilers, please. I still haven't watched it.
Like the only person in the world.
Probably. Well, that and the rest of my family, but that's beside the point. Hey, found it. But yes, we will be talking about Hasbro now owning Power Rangers. So, but we'll probably wait around a little bit. If everybody wants to, they can talk about whatever they want. They can just make random noises. And then we'll see if someone randomly shows up, because that normally takes about 3 or 4 minutes or so. I probably should have shared this on Discord, but I'm an idiot.
Might as well. I'm just gonna go into Switch's stream and just tell everyone to go on ours now. Take that, Switch.
Take that for abandoning us.
Yeah.
You bastard. No. Okay. And so, and Maverick is here. Hello, Maverick. Welcome to the party. How are you today? We got Tim here.
Yes.
One of the people who works at Column. Go support Column.
We have a Patreon now.
Hooray!
Volume 1 is still on its way.
And I'm back. Accidentally closed everything.
Welcome back.
I didn't notice you were gone. Although
I
it did feel eerily quiet though, which made make me.
I should really change my avatar.
Why? Because it has the Kickstarter logo.
Yeah, that's a little sad. Whatever. Look how happy she is, and you just that face. You've all let her down.
Yes. That's what everybody gets for over supporting Jawbreakers. You didn't need to give them that much money, guys. Come on. I mean, it's an impressive.
We do distribute the crowdfunding money.
I mean,
the 1%.
I mean, it's impressive.
Yeah,
impressive feat. I'm not going to deny the impressive feat. I'm just saying it's like this seems to be excessive. Do you really need this much money?
Yeah, I wouldn't have said no to it.
Well, granted, I probably wouldn't either. But still. Exceeding expectations, I guess. You are welcome, Maverick. I'm happy to say hello and to greet you properly. Eventually, that will probably stop happening, and then anybody who does show up will be ignored. That's just the sad reality of this. You can never have enough money. This is partially true, Rabbit, but will it make you happy? That is the more important question. Will it make you happy? Now everybody may debate that topic. I'm kidding. Hello, Smaxo is here. He can't join us in person, but he can be here in spirit. If it keeps me fed, yes. Okay, you got me. That's a fair point. Okay, so got a bit of an audience now. So let's talk about Hasbro now owning everything that is Power Rangers.
Yes, we went from one evil to another.
But the question is, which is worse?
Well, I don't know which is worse, Neo Saban or Hasbro. Well, Hasbro hasn't messed up not to my knowledge, have messed up a childhood TV show recently.
Unless you consider some of their more recent Transformers-related projects.
Probably. Yes, Max. Transformers Power Ranger crossover went. Like I was saying, I wouldn't blame them if they actually did do that. They did try in IDW. Since they're very closely linked with IDW, they did try like a crossover with like ROM, the Micronauts, Transformers, G.I. Joe, Mask.
Yeah.
Don't think it was successful because I don't think anyone cared.
Mainly, probably because
Transformers or ROM, no one really cared.
Yeah, I think that in the past they've combined Transformers and G.I. Joe before, to varying degrees of success.
Yes, it had a comic, I believe.
Yeah.
Hello. And I was told you guys have pizza, punch, and maybe a little bit of like cheesecake on the side, but
no.
You don't
eat it.
Did you?
No cake for you.
Now I'm thirsty.
Hey, Switch is here.
Yeah. Dalton said he was. He said he might want to join in too if you guys wanted him on this or not.
Yeah, sure, that's all right. Yeah, since Dalton has returned from
the abyss.
From
a parallel world.
He was sent on a peace conference.
Yeah, that makes sense. But he's back now. That's what matters.
No. Somebody told him that Last Days of Magic was the best Doctor Strange story arc. Then he's like, I felt a disturbance. I must return.
The peace conference didn't go so well because there was definitely only one survivor, and that was the Red Ranger. Nobody else survived.
Okay. Oh, that's good. No. So I don't know. What was going on? What did I miss? I need to.
We were just about to start about Hasbro.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. So for anyone that doesn't know, Saban sold the Power Rangers brand to Hasbro for $522 million, which is actually $200 million and then $300 million in stock.
Yeah.
So he did not get $522 million. I think he would be happy if he got that, but he only got 200.
I think he's
he does get it. It's just that they get it in stock. I would assume they have to buy the stock from him. So hey, he gets it.
Well, okay. Here, my question is somebody going to try? Is he going to try to sell the stock on the side, or is he going to like keep it and just kind of get like royalties from the stock?
No. Hasbro's bought the stock. That's the point. They bought the stock out.
Oh, okay. They bought the stock.
My goodness, everything's rocking and rolling now. Holy crap! How long until we get a Pepsi Man Rangers? I don't know. Hopefully someday soon.
So was that the Blue Centurion? Was it basically Pepsi Man, the Power Ranger?
Kind of, yeah.
Pretty much.
So
what do we all think? What do we all think of Hasbro being the new overlords? Do you think it'll work? Do you think it will fail? I mean, Neo Saban has set the standard of failure. So
they've set the bar pretty damn low so far.
Yes.
So there's only so
On
much.
the other hand, Hasbro. So
yeah, there's definitely some problems.
I'm feeling a lot. I'm feeling a lot like Ray right now. Choose the form of the destruction. Oh shit! I didn't mean to. Why?
Well, okay. Here's the thing, right? Like, at least you know for Hasbro, one of two things. The toys will either be real shit or the toys will be real good. One of the two there. And we know that we're either going to get like the seasons of Power Rangers being just as bad as Saban, because I mean, I don't like Neo Saban was pretty bad, or they're going to be like, we're going to see an increase in the season quality. My main concern is if the actual decrease in quality goes over to the comics as well, because Hasbro owns it.
Shattered Grid is doing really well, so I hope not.
The one thing
that's definitely a tough call. My main concern is, are they going to insert agenda into it? Because that is kind of whether it lives or dies.
Yeah, Donna brings up a good point. Where will they sell the toys now that Toys R Us is closing? Walmart?
Probably,
yeah. Like, where else are they going to do it?
Well, I think Walmart's outsold Toys R Us for toys for the last probably 10 years. I think
that's why they are closing.
So for quality of toys, it's going to be bad anyway. I mean, the recent stuff is crap. It's not even good detail. It's fairly obvious. Like, we know our market is kids, so we could just make these toys as terrible as possible. Kids won't care.
Well,
unless it's the very detailed stuff, like for collectors.
Yeah, there's like two ends now. It's like garbage and like collector edition. Every little detail perfect. Costs $56.
Action figures and toys were never my thing, but if I was going to get into them, I would much rather get into the like artisan grade shit.
Well, I know that, what is it, the Power Rangers Legacy that Bandai was working on? I do have one of the figures, and I bought it purely out of my nostalgia for Power Rangers in space and no other reason.
That's a fair reason.
That's what they're banking on.
Yeah, I mean, but the problem is that with Bandai, they've always, I guess it's just me, but when I was younger and whatnot, and I bought the old toys, and then looking back at them, I was like, why the frickin' hell are all the Power Rangers on steroids? Because they don't look like that on the TV show at all.
Because they're super Power Rangers. Come on now.
They try to class Power Rangers in the category of superhero, and I don't think that fit has always worked the best.
Yeah, it doesn't fit for like what the action figure should look like.
Yeah.
Well,
so super muscly.
Power Ranger characters have always been slender and flexible and nimble, and
because
they had all the way back in the 90s when I had the toys. They had these like broad ass shoulders and like abs, and I always thought that looked weird. Remember when you look at the head flips from the?
Yep.
Oh, I remember the head flip toys. I love those.
But like everybody was built the same. Even the Yellow Ranger had these like footballer shoulders.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be so bad if it weren't for the fact that none of the actors on the show actually look like that. Like when they morph, aside from Justin, who we really shouldn't examine, they stay roughly proportionate to their own bodies, or at least that's in universe. I mean, it's sentai, so we all know the thing that they do with the editing of the footage. But
well, you see them without their helmets. I mean, it's not uncommon.
But it's supposed to be their bodies still. Like it wouldn't be so bad if they actually cast actors that had that body type and they were just modeling it based on the actors. But no, they're very clearly going because superheroes, therefore they must have muscles, and it's just like, okay, for the most part, that's not even the subtext of their powers.
Well, that means whoever designed the toy probably didn't watch the show.
Probably not.
No. And the other question is the other question to ask yourself is how many of the toys are like American made toys, and how many of them are like ones that we actually just like transferred over from Japan and just kind of like gave a new coat of paint to.
I think that was more in the Bandai era when that was going on.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the Bandai toys, I think, because they did have a Western branch. I don't know if they did any toy making of their own.
Well, I'm kind of wondering.
Definitely tell there's a difference because if you check toys from Japan that are related to either Super Sentai or Kamen Rider, they're closer to the show than what we get here in the States. That's, or at least from what I've noticed, anyway.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
Yes, so I, for one, accept our Hasbro overlords.
Hasbro overlords. I mean, it's not like it's Disney's like monopoly acquisition.
True.
Like, oh well, we're going to. I mean, who knows?
I need to find you a parody song called "Kill the Mouse." It's based on the "Kill the Beast" song from Beauty and the Beast, but someone switched out with like all the shit that Disney does. I need to find you that song because you have a serious chip on your shoulder for Disney, man.
I don't have a chip on my shoulder for Disney. I like Disney. I'm just saying, like, you can't argue the fact that they are slowly becoming a monopoly with the amount of like properties they just recently bought.
Yeah, Disney doesn't need anything else. Please stop.
Like, they were a fool to get rid of Power Rangers in the first place.
Yeah,
their heart wasn't in it.
Yeah,
I kind of still want a sequel to the 2017 movie, even though the 2017 movie was.
I don't.
It was at least an interesting iteration. So like I wouldn't mind a sequel to that. If for no other reason than Elizabeth Banks as Rita.
Yeah, I'd kind of want a sequel as well, but actually expand on the characters as well. Like, because apart from what Jason and Billy, hardly anyone got development or were interesting, and Kimberly was a bitch.
Well, they tried to do the Breakfast Club thing where everyone was a clique in high school all mashed together, and unfortunately, you can't just do Breakfast Club without actually doing Breakfast Club, and they would. Power Rangers 2017 actually would have been a pretty decent Breakfast Club remake if it weren't for all the Power Rangers shit. And the Power Rangers shit might have actually been decent if it weren't for all the Breakfast Club shit. It's like, we can't decide which direction we want to take this in. We'll do both of them and mash them together. But sir, won't that ruin both of them? I said mash them together. Okay.
Well, Power Rangers has never had an origin story that's lasted more than 15 minutes.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well,
in fact, let's draw this out into
what they tried to do, they did decently.
Here's the origin.
Designs are awful though.
Here's the origin. There are some kids. Give them power.
It's pretty much like
it was specifically teenagers with attitude. Granted, that literally describes all of the teenagers who have ever teenagered, but
was it overbearing and
I mean, it's not always teenagers with attitude. I mean, there was that season where they were like all rescue operatives that were like police officers and
no, but it was the Mighty Morphin era.
Yeah, the one they're trying to clone in the movie.
Okay, yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Teleport us 5 overbearing and over emotional humans.
Yeah, perfect.
Teenagers with attitude.
Oh no, teenagers with attitude.
No, not teenagers.
Alpha knows what's up. It's like, oh no, why? Teenagers.
So like even Alpha knew this was a bad.
Zordon, you've been in the ancient vacuum seal chamber for too long. I think it's affecting the oxygen flow to whatever you have instead of a brain as a metaphysical being.
Light speed rescue. Yeah.
I also want to point out, I was reading the Power Rangers Free Comic Book Day issue. And there's actually a really cool thing where Zordon actually goes to like the Morphing Grid Council kind of thing to speak with them. And the Morphing Grid Council like consists of like 3 beings. And they're like, okay, so one represents the Red Ranger, one represents the Yellow, and one represents the I think it was the Black Ranger. I can't remember. It was like
or blue, no, the Blue Ranger. The primary,
yeah,
the
blue
colors.
Yeah, so the red, so red, blue, and yellow. So the primary colors, and they were switching between like different different series of Power Rangers. So like for each panel was like part of like one side like it looked like the Mighty Morphin, but one side looked like in the space, and one part of it looked like it was from Jungle Fury. One part of it was like they were just like switching between like the different. I thought that was actually a really cool idea because like it made them like as if like they were always ever evolving as part of the grid kind of thing.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Maranya likes the Meow Rangers.
Oh yeah, that was the thing.
Pizza Cats count.
That's okay. Why not cats in Power Ranger costumes? Sure.
So, what does everyone think of pros and cons?
Pros
and cons of Hasbro.
We've lost all coherence.
Okay, so pros and cons of Hasbro. Okay, Dalton, I'll let you go first.
Hasbro is known for being very, very, very cheap and very, very, very not giving a fucks. So, yeah, that's the majority of my reasoning behind it. Granted, we did get, a lot of reasonably good shit from Hasbro, but that was back in the 80s, and it is not the 80s anymore. I know Donald Trump is president, but what you're being told is wrong. It is not just the new 80s.
Hasbro is like a giant chicken? What? Okay.
And fandom is Peter in this instance.
Okay, Smack, so that was good.
That's pretty good, yeah. I mean, yeah, pretty much it. Hasbro has been very, very cheap.
I mean, but how much cheaper can you go than like Neo Saban was?
New Zealand? Yeah, I don't know.
If there's a way, they will find it. To the detriment of all of our collective childhoods.
I mean, I'm not arguing that they won't.
Yeah. How worse can they be than Neo Saban? That's the thing.
Because Neo Saban, literally they film the scenes in New Zealand unless they're morphed. As soon as they're morphed, it's like cut to the literally cut to the footage.
Yeah.
That's how it goes. Footage. Yeah. So at this point, it's like literally you're only paying actors to show up for like maybe 10 minutes of your show.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then voice them and then to voice them while they're in their suits.
John, maybe John's asking, now that Hasbro has Power Ranger rights, would you guys want Hasbro to adapt Megaforce and Pirates properly?
If they would like to see them do it, yeah.
If they can do it better than Super Megaforce, hell yeah, I would like to see them adapt it.
I would like to. Oh, go ahead.
I would say no to that, not because I don't think they could do a better job, but I think longtime fans will be probably pissed off about the continuity problems, the fact that stuff's no longer linear.
Well, I mean, have you seen Dino Charge? The ending contradicts everything. They now live in a world where dinosaurs are still alive. I don't think people have a problem with it.
Maybe just a hard reset on the series.
In anything resembling a coherent sense, so they're fucked.
Yeah, I mean, everything, unless it's full-on confirmed, everything is supposed to be set in its own continuity. Because if Power Rangers is such a big thing, why is it that no one knows about them?
Oh wait, no, I found a way. I found a way. And if Hasbro's listening, I do apologize if they do actually take this idea. I found a way that they can make this cheaper.
Good God.
Bad dubs.
Oh God.
No. Just straight dub it. Not even hire any actors.
God, no.
Just straight bad dubs.
Just get a bunch of YouTubers.
I've seen there's a Chinese tokusatsu Armor Heroes.
Yeah.
I can't find any of the subs on YouTube because they are all English dubs and they are terrible.
Kind of in the bad way.
Definitely humans of the English persuasion. This is totally how humans.
Exactly. It's just like, oh no, I'm scared now. Please help me. It's just like, this is terrible.
Okay, now
Power Rangers. I think Donna has her shows mixed up. Power Rangers Dino Force? I haven't seen that one yet. That might be fun to watch.
Does she mean Dino Thunder?
Yeah,
I don't know if she's messing with me or what. It's hard to tell.
They need to stop recycling conceptual threads for one thing.
I think that with
also there's
they've had at least
Anya has
three
issues with the toys from Hasbro, and I have to agree with it. Like, so because she has one of two problems: it's either going to be really good toy quality or really bad toy quality.
Yeah.
Particularly, she wants to point out her hate for the designs of female toys where they look like really skinny dudes with just like small little balls for tits because reasons. But
that's usually the cheapness of the manufacturing process. They're like, oh, we'll use the same body except for like one minor change.
Yeah.
And I do feel sorry for her, but like she is right. Like that is like, but that she is right. Like Hasbro is very cheap when it comes. Now, they could be cheaper, and if it's cheaper, I'd rather them actually buy the rights for the Japanese toys and have them like ported over. And at least we know the quality will only be as good as the season quality of toys that are in Japan, at least. So I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
That'd
be
especially
fine.
if it's like a season that I do like, then I wouldn't mind buying the toys anyway. So
yeah, it would be nice. I think I know that I already. The funny thing is before anybody told me like, "Hey, we're going to talk about Hasbro tonight," I was like, "Oh, I already did a video on this that I have to edit," and people will get to watch my feelings about it in the abridged version. But it's kind of a.
I know. If you were thinking of Dino Thunder, here I'll help you with this one. Was that the one where Tommy Oliver came back and he was the Black Ranger? There, that'll help. That'll narrow it down.
Yes, that could help. Yes. But I mean, with the fact that they make Transformer toys and those kind of come and go for quality. The one thing I'm wondering what the quality is like for some of the toys compared to others. I mean, I'm not interested in the movie toys, but when they've been doing like the Combiner Wars toys and the Titans Return toys, those look pretty good in comparison to some of their other less enjoyable toy lines that they've had in the past. But I have never really touched one of those toys before, so I can't say for certain on the quality. But
I mean,
the one thing actually now that I'm thinking about it is that I'm trying to wrap my head around is if they don't.
Ranger toys they're good and they're bad at the same time. Because the Q Ranger toys were not designed to be very movable.
Yeah.
Like not designed to be very mobile, like on their own. They weren't as mobile until like you started combining the pieces. So there's an argument like they're not made badly. Like they're made out of like a decent plastic, but like they don't actually move very much until you combine them together to make like the giant Megazord or stuff like that. Because that's just the way the Q Ranger toys are designed. The biggest thing that they put more effort into is making the Morpher, because the Morpher is fucking huge in that season.
Yeah, it's literally a gauntlet.
Yeah, like it might as well be like a battle axe.
Pretty much.
I what I was going to say is the question I have is like, are we going to see Power Rangers continue to be on Nickelodeon? Because I think Nickelodeon is also part of the problem that the Saban era has to contend with, or are we going to move it elsewhere? Which, now that I think about, the only place I could think of that would probably take them would probably be Cartoon Network. I can't think of anybody else, unless they decided to make the entire series like some sort of online exclusive thing. Then maybe they do.
That might be better if they do it right. I mean, like make it deal with Netflix or something.
I mean, if Hasbro has more of a say, like in how a season should work on television, maybe. But the thing is, I think it's still going to be on Nickelodeon since Saban renewed the contract. Right.
My real question is: Will Hasbro take this chance and move Transformers and other properties that it has under IDW to Boom Studios, because they have a track record showing that Boom has done really well with the Power Rangers license, and saying, hey, well, they're like our Transformers line literally like went down on IDW, but it went up on but like Power Rangers went up at Boom, and we're willing to take that chance. Or are they going to do the other scenario and just move Power Rangers over to IDW because it's easier because everything else is already at IDW?
And it's already in-house.
I think so, because they're very close with IDW, so I would think they would want to keep everything in one spot. But if they can get money out of it, they could probably move everything to Boom at the cost of like their relationship with IDW.
My question is, if they do move it to Cartoon Network, are all of the Cartoon Network can't have any live action whatsoever cucks going to come out of the woodwork again?
Quite honestly, I don't care.
I don't care. I don't think there's hardly anything on Cartoon Network that's good nowadays.
They could use a shot in the arm.
Exactly. Doesn't Hasbro own the Discovery Family channel or whatever?
That used to be the Hub. Yeah.
That's probably where it's going to be.
Yeah, and at least the last Transformers series that was on did come to Cartoon Network, which is why I was thinking it's like, unless eventually the contract with Nickelodeon would run out, and then they'd probably have to move shop elsewhere anyway. So the question is who would be the next logical choice? Because you can't move it to Disney.
Because you can't move it to Disney because Disney doesn't own it, and they would rather own it.
Yeah.
To put it on their channel.
And if Disney sets its sights on the Power Rangers, how much money do you think they're actually going to put up to keep it? As opposed to just going, nope, that's ours now. Here is a relative pittance of the fortune we made from Infinity War. Bye.
I agree, Cartoon.
Which company put the Power Rangers Justice League crossover? That was DC that did that.
It was just DC, yeah.
But I think they had one of the writers from Boom help with it to make sure the continuity was proper. But like it was DC that was figured out. There was some hiccups halfway through, so they had a hiatus around like issue 3 or 4. Then they had to come back and finish it. Like it wasn't anything crazy. It's just like a hiccup that prevented them from finishing the arc, and then they had to be like, "Hey, and we're back. We're finishing it."
Power Rangers should be on Boomerang. Does Boomerang even still exist?
Yes, it still exists.
I think so.
And they've turned it into a cheap clone of Cartoon Network rather than using it for what it's meant for, which is the golden age of Cartoon Network.
Yeah, I thought it was like for retro cartoons and stuff.
Yeah, it's for retro shows and Cartoon Network, like the stuff that Cartoon Network wants to keep around but doesn't want on the main network.
Is it no? I thought Tim Boomerang was like the old like Hanna-Barbera stuff, and I thought there was like a second Cartoon.
Well, yeah,
Network.
because
it was like Cartoon Rewind or something.
Infancy, that was what they aired a lot of, was the classic Hanna-Barbera stuff and retro cartoons and all of like Ed and Eddie and Dexter's Lab and shit. And ironically, Boomerang switched over to producing its own stuff and becoming basically the cheap knockoff version of Cartoon Network, right as it would have been expedient for them to switch over to some of the live action shit. And part of me wonders if it's still the Cartoon Network can't be associated with anything live action because reasons. Crowd.
Well, they kind of sucked for a while.
Yeah. Okay. Before we get into this, I'm just gonna say, Unnatural History and Tower Prep were amazing. They were just on the wrong network.
Okay. Well,
I don't remember those shows.
On Earth that still remembers both of those shows. That they were awesome. And they only.
You may be one of the few, Dalton. You may be one of the few, because I forgot what those were. I don't even remember them.
Unnatural History was basically Buffy the Vampire Slayer meets Indiana Jones meets like the librarians, and it was awesome.
Oh yeah.
Okay. And Tower Prep was basically what if Charles Xavier's School for Gifted Youngsters but demigods instead.
Oh. Those might just from premise alone, they sound like pretty good.
Yeah.
Wait, what was the other one called?
Tower Prep.
Tower Prep. I don't remember Tower Prep. I remember something similar to like where it had like the children of like Greek gods or something, that they were being like a school.
That was House of Anubis. That was on Nickelodeon, and it was borrowed from one of the European stations.
Okay. I guess it's just like it's not a new concept, right? Where you have like children.
No, it's not an entire. it's not an entirely, neither of them is an entirely original concept, but for what they were very obviously going for, they were both good shows. And
yeah, anyway,
people hadn't irrationally flipped shit because Cartoon Network needs only animated shit and nothing else, it would have actually been a good fit for the network.
Now,
even the competition shows like Destroy, Build, Destroy were funny and entertaining. So I don't know why the live action era of Cartoon Network flipped so much shit. I mean, some of it was just downright bad, and they should feel bad for it. But a lot of it was actually decent to good.
Okay.
Hello, Roulette Productions.
Hey, Roulette Productions. That would be Jaime. He's here. Now. Here's our question that I'm gonna have to ask. So now that Sentai, so Hasbro bought Power Rangers, which in turn means they bought Sentai, because when they bought the license, that means that they get the rights to the Sentai translations and everything as well, because that's part of that ownership. Yeah. They also bought Kamen Rider, if I remember correctly, because don't they also own the rights to the official translation of Kamen Rider as well?
I don't know.
Maybe.
Not to my knowledge.
I don't think so.
No,
because I think after Masked Rider, they just put a ban on Saban touching it.
Yeah.
I think there's the rumor. There's always been the rumor that Shotaro Ishinomori, who created Kamen Rider, was just Masked Rider is a piece of shit. You're not touching it anymore, Saban. Do not touch Kamen Rider ever again.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's true or not, but it sounds like it considering how bad it was. But
I mean,
I don't think so.
There was at least one other attempt by another company to bring Kamen Rider to the States.
Yeah, I think it's just it was just
Dragon Knight.
Saban is not allowed to do it anymore.
Yeah, Saban had no connection to that one.
Company did Dragon Knight.
Yeah, they did a pretty good job too.
Smack wants a Kamen Rider G.I. Joe crossover.
I can make it real short and sweet for him. One Kamen Rider shows up, kills everybody.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
The show is over. Good night, everyone.
Thank Cobra Commander's in the background waving his arm.
Well, they didn't buy the whole Saban package, right? I would assume they don't have Beetleborgs and VR Troopers and all that other random crap too.
I think it's just they just said the rights to Power Rangers.
But it says the rights to other things. If I remember the news report, it said the rights to other things too. Let me take a look. Saban. Let me take a look here. I'm just bringing it up right now. Okay. So Hasbro struck a deal to buy media brands, including the Power Rangers, for $500. So they bought media brands, including the Power Rangers. So they bought other things, clearly.
Okay.
What those other things are? The thing is, they're only talking about the Power Rangers. That's the biggest thing Saban owns. Is the Power Rangers, right? Whatever everything else is, it could be VR Troopers. It could be.
It's in the same way as when they talk about the Disney Fox deal. Everyone focused on X-Men, but they would also get a bunch of other shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know it could be other stuff. I just don't think it'll be Kamen Rider because they don't have the rights to that
because
anymore.
I remember I've been in forums and I've tried to figure out more information of why certain companies like Crunchyroll or other streaming services haven't taken advantage of Kamen Rider at this point in time.
Exactly.
That's a pretty expensive undertaking to redub, actually.
Yeah, not to redub, but just for
to stream it.
Just for streaming.
Because they do it to Ultraman. They're doing it for Ultraman currently.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, I wonder
the rights to it, streaming it.
But from what I heard, Toei is not only exceedingly protective over Kamen Rider, but also apparently they would ask more for it than they do for Super Sentai.
Of course, it's Toei. Of course they would.
If I remember, we've had this discussion before, but Kamen Rider is more popular in Japan than Sentai is anyway.
It's older, so I think it's definitely older than it.
Yeah,
so.
It existed before anything else did, or before the Sentai stuff existed.
Yeah. You know what? Just bring that live action Japanese Spider-Man. That's I think what we all want.
I'd watch it.
I mean, yeah, definitely. I mean, just that scene where he's just hitting something with a wrench. That's so good.
Yep, that one.
He was not hitting things with wrenches. He was fixing things. Okay.
Yeah.
The Battlefield style. You just whack it with a wrench and repairs it.
Yes, Roulette. Nobody wants to fight Toei. I mean, you can't put anything Sentai or Ranger or Kamen Rider on YouTube without it being flagged by Toei.
Almost talk about anything. Our thing.
Yeah, because they're very, very strict with copyright. Like, even if it's like heavily edited, like Toei will find a way.
Yep.
Mm.
But Toei finds a way.
Cool. It's a shame that they brought him into Spider-Verse and nerfed him.
Okay, I want to point out that Dan Slott just wanted to he wanted to kill everybody but his Spider-Man. So
pretty much,
it was obvious it was just one big vindictive plot at that point.
It's because he was insecure. He was like, my character looks like shit compared to all these other ones. I better do something about it.
Lol.
You have to pay tribute on the altar of the gods. Toei.
They did the Harrison Bergeron approach to making a character good. They took all other good characters and nerfed them so that the other character looked good by comparison.
Yeah.
That's also the Sword Art Online approach.
Yeah. Also true.
Oh my.
But anyway, there's something I'd like them to bring back in Sentai and Power Rangers. Weapons that can combine. Individual weapons that can combine into a bigger weapon.
Into the giant fuck off. Why didn't we bust this out like 5 minutes ago?
Exactly. We haven't had one since Goseiger Megaforce. That's how long it's been.
Yeah. Okay, I want to point out what would have been like a Key Ranger could combine, like that goddamn that huge amount of team there, Key Ranger having all their weapons combined. Just
I don't know. How would you make something like that? That seems like that would just become an abomination of parts. It would be as bad as Michael Bay Transformer designs.
The problem is that's essential. All they have is just the same weapon, just in different configurations for Q Ranger.
They do, and it's just so you're just imagining all these gauntlet shield things all combined. It's oh yeah.
Well, I'm trying to think. Original Mighty Morphin, it was basically just a bunch of melee weapons that turned into a giant gun, right?
Pretty much.
The only weapon they had that was also a gun was both of them were. It was Trini's things shot rockets out of them, and then Zack's axe was like a shotgun, basically.
Yep.
Yeah, I've just taken to calling it the giant fuck off super weapon. Because that's
pretty much, yeah.
Well, I remember there was a couple episodes where they didn't go into the Megazord and they would just use that, and you're like, well, why didn't they just try that initially? And then one of the episodes they started off right off the bat and they try it, and the shot just bounces back at them.
Yeah, but that was very plot convenient. We will try that. We will try the sensible thing we should be doing all the time on the one character it's not going to work on. Fuck you.
Exactly.
I always find that really funny though. It's so Trini's Kimberly's bow holds it all together, right? And then so then you have the axe, which is the primary blaster in the center, and then the axe has a blaster on the back end of it. Then Trini's two blades or little blade things. They have blasters on the back side, so she puts the back side in, and then Billy's staff breaks apart to have blasters inside. Wait a minute, or so all these weapons have a blaster unit somewhere inside, and then
except for Jason's sword.
Jason's sword just goes on top. I'm like, what is your sword doing, Jason? It's just going on top for what reason?
Aesthetic.
It's channeling the energy.
I'm assuming it has something to do with vaguely magical techno Bible. Shut up.
Yeah,
it's magic. We don't have to explain it.
Pretty much.
No, you do. You really do.
Well, you know what? Kind of that reminds me of. Have you ever seen the Naked Gun? I think it's the second one, 2.5.
Yes.
Where they're on the rooftop and they're in that fight, and O.J. Simpson takes out his gun and he starts assembling it. It just keeps getting bigger.
Yeah.
So that's basically the Power Rangers.
Yeah.
It really is.
Keep adding shit to their weapon, and it just like keeps getting more powerful.
Like, okay, like my head canon just presumed, I guess, that the sword was just like, I mean, like, okay, part of me's like, it looks cool, but part of me's like, what if maybe like Jason's sword is like the battery compartment, like that powers the rest of this. I don't know anymore.
Also, like, I might be misremembering this, but I don't think they ever, in the time that in the time that the Green Ranger converted to good and was still the Green Ranger, did they ever use the Dragon Dagger in that giant configuration ever?
I don't know.
No, because
that would have been an awesome power up and a great like, fuck you, I'm good now, like, resolve moment for
I think they did that with like the Dragon Zord fitting onto the Megazord.
No,
I think that was how they did that.
They did it with the Megazord combination, but I don't think they did it with the Dragon Dagger.
The Dragon Dagger is when Tommy's powers failed him, he gave them to Jason. Yeah. So basically, that was like the first time we ever saw like a power armor upgrade.
Jason could never use it because he doesn't know how to play the flute.
Jason only used it a few times.
He used it as a weapon, essentially.
Awesome.
So,
and at one time,
so like, the reason the Dragon Dagger is never used in the weapon itself, in the Japanese version of the show,
Zero Ranger,
and that in Zero Ranger, the actual like Green Ranger dies because he never actually gets a chance to combine his weapon with the Ranger, or even see if that's even possible, because by the time by the time he's done his feud with the Red Ranger, he's pretty much fucking dead. Like,
it's pretty much.
Yeah, like he's like, okay, my feud with you is done. Oh shit, I literally only have like maybe 2 transformations left.
You're right, because they shot new footage with the Green Ranger and stuff in the US, but I don't think they ever did any of the like weapons combining shit.
Yeah,
they never did the special effects heavy stuff.
Shame though, because the Dragon Dagger is like the most overpowered of all the weapons.
Pretty much, if they added to it, it's just like, great. Now we have another blaster.
Blows up like half the fucking city.
Like, we've added a 5th one to like the 4 and a sword.
Like the only moment I thought was the most badass of the Green Ranger was
so much that like it traps Rita back in the urn.
The whole series resets. They put it at the moon and they just blow up the fucking moon. That's how they deal with Rita.
No, they point it directly at Rita somehow, and like it turns her to dust.
So don't mind the tidal waves and like the actual like water levels changing all across the world.
And you just shoot the blaster at the tidal wave. There you
go. Yeah, you're fine. Like it's perfect. I don't know, for Green Ranger, the most badass one I remember from that series was when the Green Ranger came in and he's like, "I'm gonna steal your Zords now, like put them into my Zord. Fuck you guys."
He just in one punch knocks them all out of the cockpit somehow. It's like some GG.
I love that. He just goes in. He's just like, surprise, and just punches them all out.
Yeah. Grand Theft Megazord.
That's pretty much.
It was wonderful. I'm like, okay, wait. So like, yeah, leave me like the Tyrannosaur is like, I don't want you though. Like what? I'm gonna literally steal every other part except for the Tyrannosaur, like the Tyrannosaur Zord, and I'm gonna make my own Megazord and fuck you. And it's like,
yeah,
and watch
then you got sad Tyrannosaur. It was just like, aw,
poor Tyrannosaur.
Oh man,
join the party.
And it's like, hey, I'll combine with you later, and then we'll combine with Titanus.
Yeah.
Actually,
Titanus wasn't even part of that season. That combine never. Like, all it is like all they did is they found like the compartment that opened up in the toy, and so they were like, "Oh, we'll make the footage. Can they make the footage for us like to combine it? Because it actually doesn't." It doesn't actually
combine in the show. Yeah, the footage they use of the Titanus super thing is actually the toys, and that was something Saban made.
Yeah,
which is just wild.
It really is, because in that the Titanus is from the actual Die Ranger season. It's not from that season.
Because it's supposed to be, well, actually, like in Let's see.
I think it's from Die Ranger. I can't remember. It's from one of the other Ranger series.
Is it from the same series the White Rangers thing was from?
I think so.
No, Titanus is from Zoo Ranger. Like it combining is supposed to be like its ultimate form, its ultimate original form.
Okay.
Yeah. And it was just with everything else when they started adapting Die Ranger and Kaku Ranger, they says like, look, Titanus is here with the other Zords for some reason.
Oh, okay. No, yeah, okay, you're right.
Yeah,
like that footage.
It's not supposed to work with the other ones because it never exists in their seasons.
So stupid. Like it's like this Zord never exists. But we like put ourselves in a corner. We have a White Ranger that's like.
Well, it was also they could sell a $150 Titanus toy on the bottom shelf of Toys R Us. That's why.
Plus, it never makes sense.
You don't have the real collection until you got the Titanus.
Looking at the footage, it's just like it still has the Dragon Ranger chest plate on it when it's with the other Zords.
Yeah.
There's like, where the hell did the Dragon Zord come from?
Well, that's what they have. One that's got it's the Super Megazord with Super Mega Dragons. Or what the hell's the one with the Green Ranger Zord on top of it, of the Megazord? Is it the Super Mega Dragon Zord or something like that? But there's a version of that on top of Titanus, like, and that's completely fabricated.
Yeah, the Mega Dragon Zord.
Oh yeah.
The Ultra Zord.
It just becomes shoulder plates.
But like it's more powerful because we said so.
Yes, because now it's become shoulder plates and a helmet. It's more powerful than before.
Because vaguely mystical technobabble, fuck off.
Pretty much.
I kind of wish that's how technology worked. Like, I wish I could take like my iPad and my iPhone and my laptop and like combine them into one super thing.
So you basically want to live in the world of Genius the
So like,
I can't remember what the game is.
Like like this. Here it is. I found it. I was like, oh, here. Like this is what happens when they're like, this seems like a really like I don't know if that does that happen in the series, or I can't remember if this happens.
Yeah, that happens in the series.
Yeah. So you're like, this is considered a more powerful form than like the right. It looks so silly too. It's like it even has the dragon face on the top there. Just like, oh, excuse me. I'm just gonna put my hat on. It was wonderful. I love it. Oh god, this is great. Oh, like it's silly things like that make me happy. Like, there was no reason for that, and then I don't know if I can find the Titanus. I could probably look for it and see if I find it.
It's probably around there somewhere.
Oh yeah. Titanus.
Yep.
I'm gonna look up. Let me see something.
Like it's just like these are this is like what this is the Power Rangers kind of thing. Yeah, and the Titanus, and you are right. The Titanus Lord is supposed to be like one of the Green Rangers. Other, yeah, no, they did combine all of them. Yeah, okay. So like they had it, but they had like the Megazord on top of it and everything, and just like it just kept getting ridiculous and more ridiculous.
I was hoping it would be more ridiculous, but I just looked up the price of the Titanus toy, and it's actually only $200. That surprised me.
Only two. Okay, so here's the original, and this actually does happen in the actual like in the Sentai. So this one actually happens in the Sentai, right? This is fine, and these combine, right? Now this is the Dragon Zord symbol that he's talking about in the front right there, because it belongs to the Green Ranger, right?
Yeah.
Then there's this toy here where they're like, well, now we'll sell it with the Ninja Sword. Like, but it's not meant to combine with this sword. It's meant to combine with this sword. So,
did they ever put it with the Ninja Zord?
Yeah, they put it with in the show. They put it with the Ninja Zord. Like, well, the toy at least tried to
like
sell.
One episode, I think it was.
Yeah, but like not the when they tried to sell it with the movie Ninja Zord, not the main Ninja Zord. They tried to sell it for the movie or for the TV show. They tried to sell it with the Shogun Zord.
Okay.
Like,
yeah, then they did that as well. Yeah, and that was only for like one episode as well.
Yeah, because they wanted to say we're going to try to justify the fact that you paid $200 for this toy. You can combine it with anything.
It is the
also
first
the fact that it's miscolored. If you look at that, the Shogun Ultra Zord, its arm is pink. There was never a pink one. No, since it was adapted from Kaku Ranger, which had no pink ranger, it had a white ranger instead.
Yeah, and a white ranger, not a pink ranger. I think that's a misprint in one of the toys that they used for this picture. I'm not really sure, but yeah, it had a white ranger, not a pink ranger. So that was like the amount of things they did between these seasons was ridiculous. Like, goddamn.
You had to make sure that everything was interconnected and worked well together.
Yeah. Oh, clearly.
Got to sell all them toys.
And you fail. You fail so much.
Well, they finally went to the proper Rangers for that season when the Aquatar Rangers showed up for like 10 episodes.
Yeah, and it's just like, we use dual Zords as well. Why? Because it's in the footage, that's why.
It was like, because technically they were ours in the Sentai footage. Don't question
you
it.
took an entire season of Zords from us, but we're here for 10
They should just taken the Zords when they left the planet. Be like, we just need to get these back.
I think that was one of the funny things, like for like season 2 of Mighty Morphin, and you look at the Thunder Zord, you can see the red Dai Ranger on top of it. Yeah. It's like, well, gee, I don't see Rocky actually, on top of the Zord in his technical uniform. What is that strange thing on top of its head?
Okay, so John did have the Shogun Zord, and they did paint the white one pink for continuity purposes. And Smaxo indicated they also in that season did it backwards with the Zords, because they had the Kaikuryo Daishogo first, and then moved forward to the Shogun, which was
because in that season there, the Zords are actually supposed to be like ninja gods. So you had the Falcon is supposed to be like the top tier god, and then you have the Shogun and the Ninja Zord. But yeah, they did it in reverse.
Backwards, because that
was early Saban. That was early Saban with its decisions.
My favorite randomly kind of awesome but stupid combination bit though was when they introduced Mini Zord into Ninja Storm, because like they always kind of skirt around the fact that the Zords are like sentient unto themselves when no one's in them, but like no, Mini Zord was actually like talking and shit. So like he's just been sitting there disassembled in the Zord cavities for centuries, and it's just like, I wonder if anyone's ever going to actually unlock this.
I think we talked a little about Ninja Storm the last time, but the only thing that we were pointing out is why the heck was there a green helicopter Zord when everything else
was a samurai on a team of ninjas?
It's a samurai helicopter, thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, come on now. The samurai are very well known for their helicopters.
I think it's meant to loosely reference the flying guillotine, it being as generous as I can possibly be.
Yeah, that's just you being generous.
but that is very much a thing that I know because history that I don't think anyone thought the fuck of. So I'm just making up headcanons to explain why the fuck we even have something.
The thing is, in the Sentai Hurrikenja, Shurikenja, the Green Ranger, is still classified as a ninja.
Mm-hmm.
His roll call is I am ninja of ninja. So why they decided, okay, let's make him a samurai.
Because ninjas and samurais are both in the same sort of cultural zeitgeist, and they couldn't think of anything better to call.
Probably, yeah.
Or because it sounded cool in the show. I mean, who knows?
I think because of the fact that the Green Ranger uses a sword in that series, and
probably
samurai sword, and
he does also have the shoulder pads and whatnot.
Even though it's not,
he's got the best looking uniform.
I don't think the sword that you actually see.
Does he also have an electric guitar?
Yeah, he does.
He does.
What?
Yeah, there's
an ancient ninja electric guitar.
Oh god, not the guitar again. I already been contending with that in Ninja Steel. I don't need another guitar. I don't remember.
Okay, but like the Green Ranger gets a pass from Ninja Storm because he's cool.
Yeah. Yes, that's fair.
Wait, I just realized that means there's 3 ninja series and 3 dinosaur series.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
both of them did team ups.
Mystic Force.
Like, yeah, like the Ninja Storm Green Ranger does have a guitar.
I don't remember him ever having a guitar for some reason.
Oh, he only uses it like a few times in the series. Like I think it like helps pilot his ship or something stupid like that. Or
they tried to do a thing. Yeah. They tried to do a thing similar to what they did with the Green Ranger and Mighty Morphin with the Dragon Dagger, kind of controlling the Dragon Zord.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Helicopter. Tommy controls his Dragon Zord with the sweet sounds of jazz flute, and the other guy controls his with the metal or jazz guitar.
Like he controls his like Eagle helicopter with metal.
What else would you?
Because music is so awesome, don't you know? They can literally warp reality.
And like I think the one thing that was awesome about Ninja Storm is like how like slowly bigger and bigger their Zord kept getting throughout the season 2. It's just like, and now you can combine those beetles in with your Ranger, like with your Zord guys, and like make it a bigger Zord, like so that those like so that the Thunder Ninja Megazord can combine with the Wind Ninja Megazord. Oh, that's awesome. And now I will combine my Samurai Green Eagle helicopter Zord to that.
She's like got a little impractical at a certain point, huh?
I really did like the like first arc where they figured out they could fuse the Wind Megazord with the Thunder Megazord.
Yeah,
it's one of the better arcs that I think Ninja Storm had.
Oh yeah, well it's the evil it's like they weren't really evil, they were tricked into thinking like the Wind Ninja Academy is the ones that killed their parents kind of thing.
Lothar convinced them that the Wind Rangers or the Wind Ninjas were the ones that killed their parents because a feud with Thunder and Wind.
But nothing gets bigger than RPM's Megazord, because RPM's Megazord is literally now we have 2 big Megazords, literally made from like 2 sets of Megazords that we had. Can we combine them?
Sure, why the hell not?
Yes,
it's like, are you sure about? Yes, we're going to combine them. And it's like, okay, let's combine the 2 Megazords. Like literally, we have like 12 Megazords in this one Megazord. Like, holy shit! When was this? Like, this is going to fall apart, right? Like, no, it will not. Oh god, it got ridiculous in RPM.
Yeah.
Oh man, I love but I did like the RPM Megazord. It just because like it just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and you're like, what is even going on right now?
There was sometimes it's really weird when they like add way too many Megazords, and then they're like, okay, let's just combine all of these amalgamation of Zords together into one giant unit. It's like, why?
It reminds me of the movie Bruce Almighty when he first starts hearing prayers and his response is yes to all, and then everything is fucked up because you can't answer contradictory prayers. It's yes.
Yeah, it's like I think that kind of was happening with Dino Charge too. They had so many Zords that they were combining all of them together a lot, and I was like, I don't think so.
At least in the past, they had the excuse of like, because our Zords are based on this particular set of things, you can make a Zord for each iteration of that particular set of things. Like when they did it with Dino Thunder, like at least you could make the argument of, well, it's a different kind of dinosaur, so why not? But like when they start mixing and matching motifs, it's just like, okay, you're done now.
The motif is a robot, and it doesn't matter what. Nothing else matters.
The motif doesn't matter.
Well, I mean, like the motif doesn't matter. I don't know. I think there's a point where like you're like, well, it's not actually changing into anything else. It's literally like we're taking the car and putting it on your shoulder pad.
Oh yeah, John reminded me. Yeah, don't get me started on Toku's final Megazord. Pretty much just like let's combine everything into this platform, which turns into a giant Megazord. It's like Jesus Christ. considering it looked hideous.
Oh yeah, like,
well, it kind of sounds like SPD when their base was a Megazord.
I remember that.
At least that was just its own separate thing. Like Tokuju's was just like, let's combine all of our trains.
Well, okay, there's also O Ranger, and O Ranger was funny because it's like, remember when the Pyramid Zord shows up in O Ranger, and this happens in the Zeo as well, and they're like, okay, now we're just going to literally house all our robots inside this to power it up, and then this is just going to turn into a Megazord.
It's the Illuminati Zord.
Yeah, and you're like, but none of the Zords have actually combined. It's just like it's literally just a one like Pyramid Zord, but like all the other Zords have this like I'm like housed inside of it to power it up because that's how much power it needs.
Well, each Zord needs to run on a hamster wheel inside Pyramidas. That's how it generates its power.
Yeah,
makes sense.
Yeah. Oh God. So I felt so gypped with that one. I was a kid and I was like, what the fuck is this?
Just a Pyramid Zord. Just accept Switch.
Yeah.
The Pyramid Zord will consume all Zords.
What the fuck is
almost enter.
I mean, sometimes I get the feeling that Zord designs get kind of lazy at times.
Yeah.
I'm like, we got one series that the Zord is literally made out of blocks and cubes. It's like, let me check. Is this like the 70s?
I also want to point out the O Ranger even had an episode where they opened up and like the Rangers were exercising while inside the Megazord because the Megazord needed exercise.
Makes sense. It's a robot.
Well, again,
gotta make those gears work for you.
In most of the series, the Zords are actually sentient to a degree. So yeah.
I guess, but I don't know. I always thought that was when I was a kid. I thought that was lame. Like especially the freaking animal ones from Wild Force, or whatever. I thought that was like the dumbest thing.
Well, if the Zords are entities unto themselves, then yeah, it follows they would need some kind of attention. You can't just lock a person in a box every time you're done dealing with them. It's just like
you can do that to Pokemon. You can do that to Zords. All right.
This being that I have called into my service for my needs occasional things that other beings need. Right? Oh.
I think it depends on the series. If their Zords are more like mechanical in nature, like they're a car or a jet or something, I don't want any type of sentient being coming out of an actual machine.
But you don't want like you don't want the little car. You don't want the car and like the Jeep that like what they had like in Turbo. Like
the red and blue.
I'm sorry, Turbo. What is that? I've never heard of it before.
that was poor man's Knight Rider.
Repress
when you need him.
No, I know what Turbo is. I know what it is. I'm doing that on purpose.
I mean, I'm gonna remind you of a worse season because remember Samurai had like the Megazords became like small little like hand-sized pets during Samurai.
Oh,
they were Tamagotchi Zords.
Oh yeah, the folding Zords, yeah.
They were supposed to be based off what, origami, so it kind of made more sense.
Yeah. I'm still trying to figure out how they like went from that size to like the size of the like Megazords, and I'm like, I probably should just chalk it up to like the morphing grid magic and how it works. But
power
non-Euclidean dimensional folding.
Yeah, let's go with that.
I'm straining to come up with a reason that I would accept if I was given that premise, and I'm going with non-Euclidean dimensional folding.
Okay, we'll go with that. I'm never going to remember it, but we'll go with that.
The ninjas. Oh, okay, so John hates the ninja Zord.
So do I. It's ugly. I hate it. It looks stupid.
It is kind of like bulky.
Why would you want like a robot ninja, thing to sit in a chair?
Yeah.
On top of all these other Zords, it makes no damn sense design wise. I'm like, why?
At least give it a rocking chair and a banjo.
Well, I mean, one of them does have a guitar. You might as well give him the banjo.
At least the Lion Megazord later on was actually all right. Although he just has the Ranger sitting inside of its mouth.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, why? That seems a tad dangerous.
It reminds me of the Phineas and Ferb clip where they're fighting in giant mech bots, and one of them is a dragon, and the cockpit is in the dragon's mouth, and then when it breathes fire, he gets roasted. And that was a stupid design.
Poor
design. Yes.
And of course, because he asked to switch.
Yeah, and the thing with the Ninja Zord is like the Red Zord is normally the thing that combines all Zords together. It's the main focal point. It's literally an open target.
Pretty
on
much,
that Zord. It's like you could just shoot at it and probably disengage it from everything else and ruin the combination.
You know what makes it funny is like it's sitting there and like it looks like it's like controlling the other Zords as if like it has like a joystick to like to tell the Zord what to do.
Exactly, yeah, just. And how lazy the cockpit design was. It's just like, let's put all of our swords into these slots, and that's how we control it.
Well, it was the same thing we had with Dino Charge and with Samurai. They all have the same cockpit designs. It's like just a blank room with a few things inside it. I'm like,
I'm controlling it with my thought. Okay, I'm controlling it with my thought. Come on now.
I don't care.
Okay, if you could do that, why do you even need to be in the thing?
Exactly.
Yeah, you could probably be
elsewhere. You could be outside, safe.
Come on now. Now, come on. I still need to be inside. I need my thought waves to be on the inside, not on the outside. Come on. Like,
plus, it'll look stupid if I'm just out on the street doing fighting moves.
It wouldn't make any sense. That's why I need to do
literally like go back to the command center and have like whatever magical crystal you needed to power the thing sitting there, and then you can do that. It's literally like we don't even need to endanger ourselves. Why don't we just go to them? Why don't we just go back to wherever command center we have, power it up with the magical crystal thing we have there, and then we're done.
Yeah, and if the Zord dies or gets destroyed, then there's nobody who's injured.
Exactly.
I miss the proper cockpit for this reason, right? Like,
having to recover every single piece of it.
I really do miss cockpits and whatnot for the Zords and whatnot. At least vary it up. I mean, that's like what? Yeah. 4 seasons or so, if not more, of just the same type of cockpit over and over again.
Like, okay, well, what's worse? Is it like that kind of that cockpit where they're sitting there and like doing random moves to indicate like they're psychically telling the Zord to do something, or the one where like it has like an actual steering wheel and you have to wonder how the Zord actually like moves in specific motions?
How exactly does anything relating to this one wheel translate to what the Zord is
doing? Normally, considering there's more than one wheel on the cockpit.
Maybe it's like those like Fisher Price cars where the wheel just spins and it does nothing.
That's
just there to make them feel like they're actually in control.
It's an aesthetic choice.
I love it because it's like they actually do try to move the steering wheel, like in the show, like in the Sentais, they do actually try to move the steering wheel, like to make it look like they are actually like in a correspondence with something happening in the show. Like, oh no, get back up! Like, wait, what?
I always liked that, like the idea that they control whatever their Zord course. Like whatever limb their Zord corresponds to.
Yeah.
Is how I always like to think it works. Kind of like Voltron.
Yeah. Okay, now I have to see the learning process to like learn how much they had to turn to get like a proper punch versus like how much they had to turn to get to walk normally.
It's the rate in which you spin the steering wheel. That's how it determines.
That's why all of the Zord magic is related to teamwork, because if it wasn't related to teamwork, shit.
I want to see like the guys who control the leg trying to figure out like what rate to move to walk. Like just like one day they're like just sitting there and they're like, okay, now we should have learned how to walk with the Zord. Okay, so like I'm gonna go at like about this speed and you can go about that speed.
Yeah,
it just suddenly turns into like a kaiju movie with the Zord like obliviously stepping on things.
But like it's like really awkward because like it's like making these like wide steps. I can't like that like it's like almost tipping over. Like it's
Yeah, I think that when it comes a lot of it's just that lately we've been getting the same type of cockpit. I don't mind if you have a cockpit where it's just like kind of a vacant room with just only a few things in it. They've done it before. I think that was what was it? Lost Galaxy's Chamber's pretty much that.
Yeah.
It's just a podium. They're just like 5 podiums.
Someone make me a Megazord accidental kaiju meme now. I want that. Like someone animate that shit. I want Megazord accidental kaiju.
That would be fun. But yeah, it's like, because after watching like Lupin Ranger, it's like, oh yeah, that's right. Sometimes Megazords have different cockpits inside. They're not all a blank white room just with a bunch of decoration. It's like that Nickelodeon. It just seems as though they've been recycling the same set for 5 years now.
Well, wait, is that
They actually have to put money and or effort?
Yes.
So,
okay? Wait, is the cockpit okay? Is the cockpit actually like American footage, the one that we are currently getting in Samurai, or was that actually from that actual season? I think that was because I thought that was from that season.
For Ninja Steel, currently it's American footage. Since the thing is they're doing now, they started with Samurai, is having like a different power up form while they're using Megazords.
Oh, that stupid thing! I hate that.
Yeah, it's just like, let's make this completely separate form that we have because we're using a Megazord. It's like, why? You're spending more time and money on these extra unnecessary stuff.
Well, it's not like you're gonna make toys of that form, and even if you do, who's gonna buy it? Like, people are gonna buy, like, they're only gonna buy the toys that they want. So they're gonna buy the toys of them. If they don't fight in that form, all they are in the Megazord in that form, then they're only gonna buy the form that the characters fight in, because like they get the fighting. Like, that's the one that like they've subconsciously said, oh well, that's the one that he fights in. So that must be the Like,
okay, yes, Maxwell actually proved a point that the Gokai Galleon does have a different cockpit.
Yeah,
that's a good point.
I said,
I'm sorry, I try and forget about Megaforce and Super Megaforce. My apologies. I try and forget it doesn't exist.
Yeah, Q Ranger didn't have a cockpit. They were all in their individual parts, and they all controlled. Like, they had 2 controlling legs, and they had 2 controlling the arms, and then they had the one in the middle, like, planning all the attacks.
Yeah.
Again,
you've missed a whole hour, Marge. You've missed an entire hour worth of content. Shame on you. I'm just kidding. I don't know if you don't hit the bell, you won't be notified.
Watch it when it crosses over to video form.
Yes, and also
he needs to watch. I mean, we're just randomly talking about Power Rangers. He missed the Hasbro discussion.
Yeah. Now we're just talking about weird Megazord related topics.
I mean, I kind of feel like it's something. I feel like it's a topic that usually comes up when Power Rangers is discussed anyway.
Yeah,
true.
Let's be honest.
This is true. This is true.
Also, reminding myself of like I don't even try to remind myself of like Super Megaforce, just because I like to think only like. But I'm also reminded like that one had a kind of a combiner gun. Like, it had the gun that was like this, like the ship gun thing.
Yeah. It's like it was a prime opportunity. You had pirates and you screwed it up.
Yes. You had pirates and it was an anniversary season. How could you go wrong?
It's the perfect combination.
Famous quote from History of Violence. How do you fuck that up? Dear God, how do you fuck that up?
I mean, I also want to point out that that even like the Red Ranger agreed that he would do the English version of his character for that season.
That was Bosco, the villain.
Oh yeah, sorry. Bosco said he would.
He can speak English. He wanted to play his counterpart, and they didn't adapt Bosco at all.
Yeah, and I was like,
it's unfortunate because he was one of the best parts of Gokaija. There's a lot of good.
That's a really blown opportunity, because that would have been really good publicity.
Yeah, definitely.
It would have been.
He's back. He's back in the new Space Squad film. So
nice.
Yeah, Lupin Ranger does have 2 teams, but their cockpits are the same. Pretty much. Just 2 different Zords combinations. But the cockpit's still the same, for the most part, isn't it?
Because the Zords will later on, about halfway through the season, combine and become one Super Zord. And
probably.
Well, mainly because the main base, the body, is...
his name is Good.
Yeah, he works for both teams, so of course the cockpit is going to be similar.
Yeah.
Because the only thing they add to it is arms and then just The head.
I don't know who I hate more, Troy or Gosei. Both. It's okay to hate them both equally.
Troy is terrible. Gosei is a terrible mentor.
Can we even call him a mentor?
No.
Barely.
I don't even
in like the very loosest definition of that word. In the like
he was dormant for so much crap. He tells like, oh hey, yeah, Zordon. You know, I was his pupil. He left me here to defend Earth. It's like, where have you been?
Where in all of these things? Where
were you sleeping? At least with Zordon, he was sleeping. At least he had an excuse.
Like maybe there's a thing. Like maybe the comics will explain it as like the morphing grid just chose not to let you wait. I don't know.
Well, they never.
My thinking is he left him there for like emergencies only, and this is particularly dire.
So I want to point out, like, we've had
invasions.
Like there have been multiple things that we considered emergencies that happened on Earth in between the time.
Like no, but more so than usual. I think. And again, this is me being generous and fanficking what the writers should have done.
Right.
Like, if they say like, well, those previous incidents were an acceptable level of risk because we knew that the Rangers would still be involved, and so we didn't think that it was particularly dire enough to bring him out, and now he's out, which means this is particularly dire. But that would require them actually to write it as actually fairly dire, which is the only hole in my theory. You had one job, show. One job.
Yeah, I mean, like, because the theory's kind of ruined because Jungle Fury had like a whole scene where, like, now excuse us, well, the demon that's going to destroy like the entirety of the universe is here. Oh shit, let's use our ninja powers to stop it. Like, oh no, we lost our ranger power. Okay.
You could basically the problem is that you could poke a hole in the theory because it's like any particular season where it's like that's where it's serious enough. Like you could even do Lightspeed Rescue. There's a demon that takes over the world. Where was Gosei then? That sounds kind of important. It sounds like an emergency to me that's worthy of money getting involved.
I would go with the way like how I would have written Super Mega Force. I talked about this last week. I would have just had it that Gosei was just created by Vrak, so he can manipulate both sides.
Yeah.
Oh,
but that would take actual writing talent.
Yes, that would. Yes,
and effort, and a certain amount of monies and devotion and things. So no.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, thanks, John. There are slight differences, like the symbol change and whatnot. That is true. But it's not that big. The main aesthetic of the cockpit remains the same. They're basically in like chairs that are kind of like a
chairs in an undescript, unmarked pocket dimension that doesn't actually correlate to the place it's supposed to be in the Zord anyway.
Actually, it's in the head. They actually show it being inside of the head.
Do they? That's stupid. I thought the whole point of it being like all nondescript and shadowy and shit was like this is a pocket dimension that you ascend to when you form the Megazord, and it's not actually directly correlated to the Zord. That would make a certain degree of sense, but fuck. Stop ruining my better fan fiction theories than you're writing, Power Rangers.
That's not Power Rangers though. That's Sentai. If you want to blame anything, blame Toei for it.
Yeah, Toei ruining everything as usual.
It's all their fault.
Toei being Toei.
Yep.
It must be Tuesday. We have an apocalypse, and Toei is to blame.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I love seeing these. So I know. So Tim just shared like a video there on the side, and I was like looking it over, and there's like the accidental footage with the kid who is like next to the Megazord at like one frame of the shot. It's like, where did you show up, random child? Like Like it's during the scene where like it's the Megazord there, so and the kid is like holding like to the holding onto the side of the Megazord. Like what? Where did you come from, random child?
And more importantly, how? Like how anything?
It's just a random child. It's about the size of the Megazord next to it on the side there. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, doesn't matter. Not important. Moving on.
Yeah.
Random giant children movie was being filmed next to the place where like random case of giant growth serum being exposed to children was done whilst in the background is just Power Rangers plot.
And now everybody is arguing about the colors of the Lupin Rangers in chat. It's like they should all be correlated to Lupin the Third's jacket colors. But as far as I know, he only has 2, red and blue. Well, at least they got half of it. They got 3/4.
Yellow.
They don't have a yellow. I don't think he's ever worn a yellow jacket, at least not that I remember. Maybe he has.
No, I know, but they have Yellow Rangers, so
yeah.
Maybe white underneath.
Yeah.
I mean, she has a white cape.
Yeah. Yeah, probably not.
Like, nope. Oh well, we tried.
It is called the masquerade form. Yes, because they're hiding. They're criminals.
Because maybe Phantom reference.
So are we saying like they'll power up and have like a similar form to each other at one point later
on? So far, the only power I've seen them have is the ability to, or for the Red Ranger to split into 2 other copies of himself. That's all he's been able to do so far.
Yeah.
Although they did use it as a very clever trick in one episode because the police were onto them. That was a funny idea. It's like, oh hey, why don't we use this obvious trick that we can do and pretend to still give the police reasonable doubt that they don't know who the thieves are. Something like that. God damn it!
I got them Naruto powers.
Well, I think the Power Rangers one is
with the images of Icon, which is the spell that allows Doctor Strange to do that, and also to Vlad Plasmius from Danny Phantom.
Yeah, I think that probably the more weirder power is what the Power Rangers have to contend with. When they use one of their special powers, they just end up merging together.
Oh yeah, yes.
It's like that was just weird.
Yeah, become one.
Become one Power Ranger with green, pink, and red. It's just so bizarre. And of course, the way that they react to it is appropriate too. Ah!
So in Power Rangers Go, if Trini and Jason hook up, will their kid be an Orange Ranger?
I mean, based on Power Ranger logic, that's a possibility. It's very
pretty much, yeah.
Like, heck. So wait, so you've watched Lupin versus Pada? So
yeah,
like, if you were to do it like an American, if you were to write it American, how would you do the American version of it?
I wouldn't.
Don't even bother.
Wouldn't even try.
That is the best answer.
It's too pure. I don't want to hurt it. I could put on the
so Nightwolf is going with the always respectable error not applicable response.
I love it.
I would probably. I mean, if I were to think, I haven't never really thought of it. I'd probably wait till the season is over and then probably see where I could take it from there. Because it's only on episode 11, episode 12, I think, by now. But hello there, giant cuckoo clock.
Judgment from the unforeseen peanut gallery of the studio audience of the show. It's all been on all day long.
I muted it for the second half. Whoops.
John was on the too much use of actual guns in the actual in the show for them to.
Yeah, Too many actual guns. Everything, all their weapons are guns.
Excuse me. Like, no, I'll just replace the gun bullets with lasers. Come on now.
They don't really shoot lasers anyway.
Take the Yu-Gi-Oh approach and just remove the guns in general, so they're just pointing their fingers.
It's the most powerful weapon.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
The most powerful weapon ever, the finger gun.
The invisible gun.
The invisible gun.
Thank you, Maranya. By your powers combined, I am Captain Ranger.
Pretty much, yeah.
It is kind of how it works, except for that they don't become one sentient being. They're all one person inside one body. Split three ways.
Like, okay, that would be so awkward. Like, I'm thinking about that because, like, it's like, okay, I know your thoughts. I know your thoughts. I know your thoughts. One of them is a girl, and like.
No, basically the way. So from what I remember,
they get a different female ranger each episode because she's just disgusted. Have to replace her.
So far, from what I've seen, they've only done that once, and the one time they did it, they freaked out.
Oh god!
I don't remember them doing it more than once. They're like, and then they gave him a new power up with a bicycle or with a motorcycle power up, and they just shoot the motorcycle at enemies.
Like, well, like, okay, so like the three of them go in there, and we're sure this power is somehow an HR issue.
It might be.
I mean, pretty much like when they combine, the Pink Ranger pretty much tries to stop them from like touching themselves.
Yep, pretty much. Even though technically the body that they're in is pat of red, so
yeah, he's
in a sense the only one who should be complaining about you guys touching his body is him.
Oh my god, it's just because at that point they're like, okay, we're sure this is some form of HR issue. Like the Pink Ranger there, I've learned way too much about boys that I ever wanted to.
Yeah, we don't know, man. She might be the freak. The rest of that fight,
like, yeah, the two of them are just in there and they're like, she does things, disturbing things.
Commissioner Hilltop, yeah.
Yeah.
He's a fun guy.
Commander Hilltop, yeah.
Oh man.
To be fair, like as soon as I saw the casting for that, I thought they're gonna go with like generic, like angry black guy, police chief. But he's like the most zen person there.
Yeah, he has to contend with the most angry and oddballish group.
He's like, don't worry about me. I'm working on my bonsai tree. Please continue with your police work.
And also, it's like I'm assuming that he's American originally, and he just speaks Japanese.
I guess.
I don't know. There's just something about his performance where I get the feeling it's like Japanese is your second language, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm just guessing. I'm not saying that to be rude to the guy. I'm just saying it because it feels like that might be the case.
Oh wait, there was an episode apparently with a Power Ranger because I haven't watched this the new season yet. I mean, I'm still behind, but apparently John says there's a season where their genders do get switched.
Yes, that was episode. What was it? 11 or 10?
Oh yeah. Their genders get switched, and it's just like
just for the Power Rangers.
They just like they touch their own crotches. It's just like, oh my god.
Yeah, it's like, and you wonder the reason why I don't want to try and find a way to translate that.
Is there a Sentai equivalent of Forever Red? Yes, it was a movie, and they had different team members. I'll try. It was in Gar Ranger. I'll try and find it, but it was their equivalent of Forever Red.
Yeah, it's like
because it was an anniversary season as well. Yeah, they were called the Dream. They were called the Dream Sentai.
The actor is from Seattle. Which actor? Are we talking about the guy who's the commissioner?
Yeah.
Huh. Well, then originally he is from America. That would make a lot of sense.
I don't find it really weird that like the Powder Ranger. Okay, so they went with red, green, and pink for the Powder Ranger.
Yeah,
but like, why not go with red, blue, and white?
Yeah,
because reasons.
The only reason I say this is cool, like, those are the colors, those three colors, the primary colors of like police officers.
Huh?
Blue and white are primary.
They're all secondary colors go with like orange, pink, and green.
Yeah. I'm not talking about secondary color. I'm talking about like police officer colors, like Power Ranger.
But like, assuming that they wanted to go with secondary colors for for once to start. They could have gone with orange, pink, and green.
Well, I mean, the Potter Ranger, they have their Red Ranger, and the Lupin Ranger has their Red Ranger. So Lupin has like red, blue, and yellow, whereas Potter has red, green, and pink. You can make an argument that Potter Red might be kind of like a stand-in for orange, I guess.
Maybe.
His color like changes later on in the season, like they're when they're like the two
they never
teams
done a
combine.
chameleon ranger? That would be amazing. Like a ranger that changes color like the horse of a different color from Wizard of Oz.
Well, they kind of did that with. They kind of did that with Tokuja, but that was them just switching trains, so their colors changed as well.
Yep, that was weird.
And yes. Trains just add like a new level of Ranger power. Now Thomas the Tank Engine will be a Power Ranger, and don't question it.
The blue Thomas Ranger. God.
Has like a smiley face like on his chest. Like the Thomas. Like the Thomas smiley face on his chest. Oh god, that'd be so creepy.
It makes you wonder the reason why they never tried to adapt that season.
It's
not like the Megazord has suggestive.
Well, yeah.
Or anything.
Yeah, there could be that too.
Oh man.
But still, it's like trains. A lot of kids still like trains. I mean, Thomas the Tank Engine is still very popular, so you could potentially get away with it here in the States.
You could.
Secondary colors are green, orange, purple, violet. Secondary colors are made from 2 primary colors. Yes. We don't see very many of those colors in Power Rangers.
Nope.
Sometimes.
Well, Q Ranger was the last one that did it. The previous.
Oh no,
season.
we still see secondary. Like you always get like at least.
You always at least get a green.
Yeah, you always at least get a green. Or no, sometimes the green's black.
Yeah, it's usually they swap them out. So if there's not a black ranger there, it's a green ranger.
Yeah.
Except for seasons where they have both.
I hate to interrupt the flow of the conversation, but I'm feeling kind of upset to my stomach, so I think I'm going to use the restroom again. I will be back.
Yeah, that's all right.
Okay, go ahead.
Then there's always there's not always a yellow ranger, but sometimes there's a yellow ranger.
Yeah,
and sometimes
pink and white.
Yeah, they're interchangeable.
I mean, we've had this conversation before. Funny enough, there's even like the occasional. There's occasional like one other ranger type that we see sometimes, like, but yeah, like it's usually 3 to 5 members anyway, isn't it? Like it's 6, like
roughly.
So, yeah, and then the 6th ranger is like green or white.
Yeah, green,
sometimes
white.
They're gold or silver.
Gold, black.
Yeah. Sometimes a Green Ranger's in the primary. Wasn't there a Green Ranger in the? I mean, ever since I think.
Well, Quantum had a red,
right?
Quantum had a red 6th Ranger.
Like yeah,
they had 2 reds, really.
Yeah. In a sense, yep.
Well, technically, yes, because he wasn't Forever Red, so he's classified as a Red Ranger.
Yeah, he was, man. Totally.
Although that's mainly because they couldn't bring back Rocky, because like who else would he be? That means you would have like a second Red Mighty Morphin for no reason at all.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be okay with this.
No, nobody cares about Rocky.
I like Rocky.
Rocky wasn't even a leader.
No. In that season, it was.
He did get kind of cooked in that sense, where it was like, oh man, the leader of the Rangers has been replaced. Like, nope, Tommy's in charge. He's the fan favorite. You are literally just a stand-in.
And Tommy gets to be the new White Ranger now. Is it wait what?
What?
The Ranger wasn't even part of the season at all. Don't question it.
It's like, yeah, Rocky, now you're the Blue Ranger in Zeo. And then in the Turbo film, whoops, you've injured yourself. You can't be a Ranger at all.
It's not like morphing, probably limits injuries.
So like, wait. I want to point out how much of like a middle finger was it that they replaced him with a kid?
What's the biggest middle finger possible? Show just how irrelevant he was.
Yeah, it's like now. Basically, Rocky, we're saying we're saying our byes to you, buddy.
I feel bad for him, but it's just they didn't give him an opportunity to really be a leader in any of the shows anyway. So
yeah, I think considering that he replaced Jason, and apart from Tommy, Jason was the fan favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
leader. Mm-hmm. So it's a bit hard to fill those boots, and then bringing Tommy back is like he's the leader now because he's the fan favorite. It's like, oh, okay.
Well, he was kind of the only veteran left for a while, right?
Yeah.
Him and Billy.
Billy. But then Billy was not a ranger for a little bit, right?
Yeah, Billy was not a ranger in Zeo. It was technical support. He became a secondary alpha.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Like, so it's kind of like the only person who really could have been a leader was Tommy.
Well, I think they cucked Billy pretty bad by Zeo, because Zeo was like, I don't feel comfortable being a ranger anymore. I'm going to give my power to you. I know I'm supposed to technically be the yellow Zeo Ranger, but I'll give it to this random girl that we just met.
Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Yes, this random girl that swapped spots with Aisha.
Yeah.
Yes. Let's trust her. Not because the Sentai footage has a woman there, but
so weird.
And then he leaves to go. Then he leaves to go to the alien ranger's home planet because he could go to golf.
No, because even before that, amazing. Even before that, because he was like, okay, they kept hinting that, hey, who's this Gold Ranger? I don't know. But
could be Billy.
It could potentially, and they kept hinting that, it could potentially be Billy. Like they kept sprinkling hints throughout the season that it potentially could be Billy, or that Billy was going to get the power eventually or something. And then it's like, no, I have the person. Don't worry, I have the perfect person who would get this power. And then Jason, like, where did you come from, Jason?
Yeah, exactly. It's just like, where'd you come from? You just
kind of showed up.
Tommy brought you out of nowhere.
Like, wait a minute. Wait, Tommy's like known where Jason has been this entire time? What's going on?
It's like, I thought you were at a peace conference.
Yeah.
Why are you back? It makes no sense.
I just love that that's a term now for when someone's replaced on a show. It's you were peace conferenced.
Peace conference, yeah.
I was kind of hoping that they would do that for the Megaforce season.
Hopefully, yes. It's just like, yes, this alien invasion happened, but there's also a peace conference.
An episode starts, and the entire Megaforce was sent to a peace conference.
And replaced by more competent actors.
Yeah. Gosei's just like, yes, the War Star and the Armada have invaded, but there's this really important peace conference you have to attend. May take the whole season.
Could take you a while. You probably won't come back.
Oh, God.
You know what? I would accept that.
I think everyone would have accepted that.
At the very least, can we at least do that with Troy?
Yes.
Just
Troy went to a peace conference because he heard Robo Knight was there. God, that was such a dumb story arc. Robo Knight, where are you?
Nobody cares. Robo Knight was a dick to begin with. Nobody cares.
I'm trying to have I was like, it's like Robo Knight. Now I will obligatorily show up at the end of this entire season.
But you were destroyed, you dumb shit.
Fuck you!
It's like, screw your continuity and logic. I'm here now, so that's all that matters.
Oh, are we talking about the Robo Knight thing?
Yep.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, but by the way, I'm back. I really hope I'm not getting sick. That would fucking be my luck, because I just took a month long hiatus, and now it kind of feels like I'm getting sick.
Well, if you need to go, don't feel obligated to stay. We got more than enough people.
No, I'm fine. I'm getting that pre-sick sort of lag feeling. So
I'm sorry, my man.
Oh, yeah, that's unfortunate.
But yeah.
But if you feel like dipping out, don't hesitate to do so.
I will. I didn't want to leave you guys hanging, because it'd be like, oh wait, where did Dalton go again?
He went to a peace conference, clearly.
Clearly.
That's what we all assumed. We thought you went to a peace conference and then you came back as the Gold Ranger.
I mean, how's that peace conference coming along, man?
You know, if I ever went to a peace conference, it would end with like World War III. I'd be like, and you'd all be like, "What did you do?" And I'd be like, "I was just me." And
there was no one foreign in attendance. How did you start World War III?
I was me in a room full of powerful people who didn't have patience for my bullshit. That's how that happened.
Billy making alien babies.
Billy's making those alien bubbles. It's kind of funny too because the actual actor is like he's actually like gay. It's like so it makes it even more funnier for me because I'm like, oh, and this is just really awkward. But he'll make an exception for that alien putang.
To replace cast members, and no one is supposed to notice tropes.
Yep.
Lindarm from Bewitched. Now it's Ranger
and Julianne Moore from Hannibal.
Yeah. Well, you know, that's the thing is that they at least explain the reason why they had replacement cast. It's not just, oh, hey, they disappeared one day and then somebody came to take their place.
I really question why they didn't just cast Holly Hunt as Clarice after Jodie Foster left. Total non sequitur, and I could. Why am I spacing on names all of a sudden? What the fuck?
It has absolutely nothing to do with Power Rangers.
Nothing at all.
Or Sentai or anything.
It just whenever the topic of miscasting replacements comes up, I'm just like Julianne Moore from Hannibal because that was just the fucking most That's some Richard Harris Dumbledore to Michael Gambon Dumbledore levels of what the fuck is this person? They have nothing to do with the original person.
No, I have a question. What's everyone's favorite power up form? Like, you know what I mean? Like, a secondary kind of like super form kind of thing that they might have or something.
Like a battleizer?
Oh, yeah, like a battleizer or like
I think the SWAT armor in SPD was probably the best. And
I agree with that one actually. I love the SWAT armor because like they all got it, but like made them look more like we're straight up.
It made sense. It looked good. It actually did stuff.
Yeah,
it had pockets.
It had pockets to make that '90s aesthetic work. You know.
Yeah.
Then you have that cool like battleizer that the Red got when the dog I can't remember when the dog combined with the Red Ranger. Murphy. When Murphy combined with
Murphy?
the SPD battleizer.
Yeah, the SPD battleizer. And Murphy, and again, the Murphy battleizer made sense because again, he was just kind of like, okay, we need I need the Red Rangers, like I need the big guns, do the Murphy battleizer. It makes sense. But I still prefer the SWAT armor. I still like that. But the SPD line of like battleizer morphings made sense. Like I like them.
Well, didn't the bad alpha team also have the SWAT armor as well?
Yeah,
it had like a variation.
That was just cool. Like that whole thing was cool.
Yeah,
they had retooled and recolored in space helmets.
Yeah, they had retooled and recolored in space, and they gave them like I think the suits are slightly different, but like they also gave them like. But they gave them like the battleizer kind of look because like they were like, okay, it'd be really cool to have like this team in like their SWAT battleizer versus another team in a SWAT battleizer kind of thing, and I like that idea.
Mm-hmm. Well, even in Deca Ranger, Barnes' current form, like his Fire Squad form is just his normal form, but with the SWAT like chest plate attached onto it and then colored red. To show like I've been promoted and I'm part of a specialized unit now.
Yeah, that's right. You're talking about like in the recent in the recent stuff like that he shows up in. Yeah.
It kind of gave him more of like a Master Chief kind of look.
Yeah.
Which is kind of what I imagine. Like I'm surprised that they that's not the route they took, especially with like costuming and being so much better that they didn't do like proper like Space Marine looking outfits anymore. Like everything is still spandex. I mean, whatever. But like I did, but that was what I kind of thought was the next logical step was something like that, and the SWAT armor kind of gives it.
So you want them to look like the soldiers from Lost Galaxy?
Dude, the soldiers from Last Galaxy are the same soldiers from Starship Troopers.
I know.
Yeah,
I noticed.
And also Halo.
And Halo.
Yeah, a little bit.
And Halo.
A little bit.
I guess that would be a natural progression of the armors, I guess.
Next logical progression, Warhammer 40k armor.
Maybe just
bulking shoulder plates.
Maybe eventually they just get into like the little mini mech armors, and it just keeps getting like larger, and then their Megazords get in other Megazords that are bigger.
Like totally works, makes sense.
Like, my Megazord.
So you want a season of Matryoshka Rangers?
Yeah, Matryoshka Rangers.
My Megazord gets a Megazord, so you get to see my Megazord. I'm in my cockpit of my Megazord, who's in the cockpit of its Megazord.
I think eventually that would just make everybody's heads
Inception Rangers.
And then it turns out to be like in the end of Men in Black, when we're all just in a secretly subatomic universe inside a larger universe inside a larger universe.
Dude, Matryoshka Rangers. There you go.
Oh yeah.
I don't.
So
really
pretty much
know.
you want all of them to be like the Magna Defender, just becomes really large, changes form, and combines with the Megazord.
Yes, I want more of that, please. Magna Defender's cool, so I'm okay with that.
Didn't Ninja do the
So
same
I'm
thing?
looking through all the
Yes.
I'm looking through all the battleizers, and while I like the Red Time Force Rangers one, it completely just goes like the theme of it contradicts the theme of the show. Like,
I forgot.
We're time traveling, but for some reason I'm a medieval knight. Like we're technology.
He went back in time and he got the medieval knight armor.
From another era of history, and because time travel.
No, there's the episode where it's just like a black knight just appeared out of nowhere, and it's like, I've taken the power that he wanted, and it gave me this super cool looking fire armor.
Yeah, I'm looking back at that. That's very that is
like
distinctly medieval.
I wonder if Mystic Knights of Tirnag was happening at that time.
Probably. I mean, at least
I like that.
Oh, we got this costume. What are we gonna do?
Well,
yeah.
You can ask your question of like, okay, what Rangers do you think were happening at the same time as like other Rangers to like some degree too, right? Because logically, I mean, it would make sense. Like if you take so like I can imagine like the Mystic Force Rangers and like the Ninja Storm might have been like happening around somewhat at the same time, like maybe one starting a little later than the other kind of thing.
I think it's tough because it's like every time there's these giant global threats.
Yeah.
So it's like unless the other teams retire.
Ranger teams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of the Power Ranger teams either end up losing their powers or retiring.
Well, excuse me. Well, if you are retiring, just so you know, if you're part of the Wild Force, you have to give up the jacket too.
I finished watching Wild Force, and that scene always is just like, what?
You get absolutely no signifiers of ever having done this. So now there is absolutely no proof.
Can you imagine if they made the Red Ranger like grow out his hair again and like look like a wild boy again? Like now your entire clothes.
And you go back to being homeless in a forest.
Pretty much. Yeah, like what happens to
with like
what
time
happens
travel
to
stories?
Cole?
Like you'll get like we need to get this historical figure, but make sure you wipe their memory the second they get back to their appropriate time. But I've changed so much and learned so much. Nope, memory wipe.
Nope, I'm not. I don't want to talk about time travel. I already watched Ninja Steel doing a time travel episode, and I freaking hated it.
Like with Wild Force, like everyone except Cole had something to do. Like you had one was a pilot, one's a botanist, one just went traveling, another was going to be a teacher, and just Merrick decided me and Zanako are just gonna chill and travel the world.
Hell yeah.
But Cole has nothing to do because he's homeless.
Yes, no.
Where does Cole go after
It's kind of like how I always get pissed off at the ending of The Breakfast Club, because like it's supposed to be this like movie about message of, you know, people from different walks of life can get together and be friends and shit, and yet somehow still the only guy that doesn't get the girl at the end or doesn't get a resolutory plot arc is the nerd who gets roped into writing everyone else's essays. I think that might be why the fist in the air is a thing in Breakfast Club, because it's just like, fuck all you guys.
Yeah.
It's Brian.
They cut out the scene where
everybody writing all the papers. What the fuck?
Like they cut out the scene like what it is like he's putting his hand up, like, but they cut it right before he puts his middle finger.
It's like,
yeah.
It's like wait. Everyone else gets genre redefining, you know, girlfriend and boyfriend and shit, and I still got roped into writing everyone's paper because I'm the nerd. Fuck you.
So, like, looking up here, it says like Cole decided to use his talents to help animals in need wherever he roamed. Yeah.
So basically, he's still a hobo.
He's still a hobo.
More elaboration, isn't it?
He is the actor who stabbed his roommate, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
He did get cleared. It was self-defense.
Got cleared because it was in self-defense. Yeah. So like, what happened was it was like the guy who was his roommate was actually like on a drug, dose or something like that had an effect on, like, mentally was affecting him, and so his roommate was actually attacking him.
Still, that's got to be embarrassing. He's the only person on the record to ever be killed by a Power Ranger.
Yeah. I mean, it's true.
That isn't a rubber suited monster.
Did he explode into sparks after he stabbed him?
That's the real question. I do feel sorry for him though, because that was actually his friend.
I've seen a giant version of whoever he stabbed.
that's the part of the story you don't hear.
Yeah. Like, yeah, no, I do feel sorry for him though. The guy was actually his friend. It turned out like they were friends and that they were roommates. So he was like, oh, and he also feels even more bad because like the parents of the sister, at least, or somebody of the person that was the roommate, I think still blames him to this day. But it's like he was literally like, no, it was like I literally had to. I had no choice because the person was trying to kill me, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, like it's just one of those really bad scenarios where you're like, fuck, like there's like no way out of this.
But that actor has been in 2 Power Ranger seasons, so
yeah, he has.
He was he was in 3, wasn't he?
No,
no,
he was in 2.
He was in 2. He was the villain.
He was Cole. Yeah, he was Decker in a Samurai.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I'm thinking of. All right, there we go.
Yeah.
Yes, he was.
Mm. Can we just have cool villains again, like Zenaku? I think Zenaku was like my favorite part of Wild Force. Especially at the end, it's just like, yo, can we chill?
Creepy vibe that Mesagog had.
Yeah.
Mesagog had a nice creepy vibe, especially like when he separated from the human side, which was the White Ranger's father. And
I loved seeing him pwn Lothar, because it was just like, what do? We take one of the most serious Power Ranger seasons we've ever done yet, and we take the most campy, or one of the most campy seasons we've ever done yet, and we put their villains together. Wait, won't the serious one just completely pwn the shit out of the campy one?
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. That's the point.
Well, it's better than whatever that. What the hell's the name of was supposed to be Rita and Zed's son? The hell was that?
Thrax.
God, that was an okay concept. That was botched.
So I'm trying to figure out. Okay, wait.
He could have seriously been a villain of his own series. Like,
could have, but okay, because that season had terrible villains, like the ice villain and the fire villain, whatever. Like, they're supposed to be like these brothers that are in a vengeful feud against each other.
Yeah, like, are you telling me that the son of Rita Repulsa, the Empress of Evil, and Zed, the Emperor of Evil, isn't like a badass in any significant sense?
No,
like, really. Like, he
was only like in a 2-episode parter, a two-parter episode.
I get that he might take after his mom and be a little bit shrill and bitchy, but like, damn.
But no, the main villain turns out to be this ice dude and like this other dude who are like having a feud.
Moltor And
I love it because when you hear the backstory, it's like okay, so he's like
by Mr. Coffee. I have no idea.
I love it because when you hear the background story in that season, and they're like, and basically okay, so basically it's just like two brothers that had like a hissy fit against each other and just didn't know when to stop. Like okay,
well they're well I think Linkara pointed out the whatchamacallit, that claymation, the Jack Frost and whatever his name, the summer guy.
Miser and Jack Frost.
Yeah, Miser, the winter miser, and the summer miser, or whatever.
Snow miser and heat miser.
Yeah. There we go. Yeah, like that's pretty much pretty much it. It's not far off from that.
It really is. Like it's like where are these guys' mom? Like, can we get like their mom to sit them down for like 2 seconds and be like, "You boys stop fighting."
So you want to literally call in Mother Nature like they did in The Year Without a Santa Claus?
Like it might actually be like.
I'm also convinced they don't have the same father.
Yeah.
I mean, you might be right.
That's the source right there.
The current crop of villains we've been getting has been pretty bad, but what was that one guy from Dino Charge?
Oh,
the one with the human form.
Sneckle and Hyde.
Heckle.
No, John. I would actually argue that Operation Overdrive actually had some at least decent ideas behind it. And Megaforce was Megaforce. Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I said Major Tom. Kendricks did come back from the dead in Lost Galaxy. You know, a complete pointless thing. She died. She had a heroic death, sacrificing herself, and it's like, whoops! Now she's back.
Wait, okay.
And now the Pink Ranger is interchangeable apparently because you had Corone come back as the Pink Galaxy Ranger in Super Mega Force. Is like, wait, but Kendricks was in that Lightspeed Rescue team up.
Yep. Okay. So here's my question with that one because it's like she comes back at the end of that, and I'm like, wait, why did she? How did she? Because all right, so she dies, and it's like they don't even do like a weird like. Oh, I'm back from the plane of existence. Because like we actually see her like literally die a heroic death. So I'm like how like did your body like just like wake up from like that cliff fall and you just like ran over to where they were or something? I'm confused. Like what happened here?
Yeah, and the fact she was a spirit for to speak to Corone to pass on her powers. Like okay.
And also,
well, it says here she was
back
restored.
to Rita and Zed's son for a second. Didn't Rita go good and become the Mystic Mother in Mystic Force?
Yeah.
So,
well, end of In Space, she and Zed become human. They become good.
And they become good people. And they're dancing on the moon.
Yeah.
Why didn't anyone say to him, like, no, we've been down this path too, don't go down it, you know, like, Is he just being whiny and emo because they keep trying to tell him to go good and he doesn't want to go good? That would explain all the things.
The fact that he still has a monster form
just
would be
whiny emo teenage phase.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The fact that he has a monster form would be the part that bugs me the most because
so that means he must have been conceived and born sometime before In Space. If he has a monster form.
Presumably, yeah.
Yeah.
So we're basically saying that
where is Mystic Mother version of Rita and presumably the humanoid version of Zed?
Yeah.
He's not around. He's gone.
He's not around apparently. Well, they only made
maybe he is. Like she's the Mystic Mother. That doesn't mean like he's not around. Like it just means that maybe like he's like, man, honey, I'm giving up on the magic shit. I'm just gonna go and become a businessman. Like, okay, you're becoming the Mystic Mother. That's fine. That's fine, honey. I'll be at home like at 5. Okay.
Well, the only reason they made Rita the Mystic Mother
just becomes a house husband, and
pretty much
Rita becomes the breadwinner of the family.
Pretty much, yeah. But the only reason they made Rita the Mystic Mother is because in Magi Ranger, it's the same actress that played
the same actor
which Vendora. Yeah. I mean, it was a good nod. It was kind of
it was actually nice to see Rita finally like get some like respectability and like a more or less happy ending.
Yeah.
Because Rita is one of the most sympathetic of all the villains, just because of how like saddled with incompetence she is, and like how much goofiness she has to deal with everyone else. Shit.
Yeah.
Like I know she's evil and I know she's the original villainess and everything, but like, come on, you have to have at least a soft spot for her, especially after she gets completely like decimated by Zed at the beginning of season 2. It's nice to see Rita actually go good and win one for once. Like,
well, I mean, like I'm almost kind of imagining what that would be like for her, because she's like, she gets home that one night, and, like Zed is there. It's like, hey, honey, how was work? Oh, I met like the new Power Rangers. They're not as competent as our Rangers were when we were villains, but you know,
they almost destroyed everything.
So now the Rangers are incompetent. Like they could have been incompetent when I was trying to take over the planet, but of course now they are.
Hey, they needed my help to fix shit.
When it's actually convenient to me, they can't be incompetent. But the very second it's convenient to me for them to be protecting the world, then they're incompetent. Fucking Rangers, and that's the secret origin of how he turned evil again, and that's why Thrall is evil. Like it's just Lord Zed being a bad daddy influence.
You know, John makes a very valid point. The Red Ranger in Megaforce is more robotic than the Red Ranger in Overdrive, and that guy is an actual robot.
Well, the guy, okay, so that's actually one of the better parts about Overdrive is the Red Ranger in that season was actually like fairly decent. I liked him. Overall,
I think Mac was the only interesting Ranger of the group, because
I think he was
the Blue Ranger was just terrible.
Like, because he even has that really cool arc when he figures out he's a robot and he becomes reckless, which literally, like, his dad is like, stop being reckless, and he's like, fuck you, like, you, like, and you're like, oh shit, like, it's literally affecting him, kind of thing.
You know, my real dad is Bill Gates.
Pretty much.
Oh shit.
What happened?
Oh,
I don't know.
Sorry. I don't know. I just kind of got quiet for some reason.
Everything
like quietness
went quiet. We apologize.
It's quiet. Too quiet.
I got a bad feeling about this.
Oh no.
Like a psycho version of Uma Thurman's character from Kill Bill just shows up and we all get shivved with a katana. And then the stream just keeps going.
Through the internet.
No one turns it off.
Sentinel Knight is better than Robo Knight anyway. Maybe. I don't know. I haven't watched Overdrive. All I know is that the Red Ranger is a robot, and that a lot of people don't like that season.
The Red Ranger is a robot.
We all know the best version of that knight concept is Meta Knight from the video game.
Do we all agree Overdrive has the worst intro song?
Yes.
Oh god, yes.
Have you actually heard? Yeah, okay. Did you hear the actual like song that the actual original composer of Power Rangers wanted to put forward for that? It's actually really good.
Ron Wasserman?
Like Osterman had like an actual he actually had a theme that he put forward, and they rejected it.
That one.
They rejected it for the official one, and I was like, oh. And the original song was actually so much better.
I have not heard that.
I have a friend who's like a music major in college, and for whatever reason we got onto the topic of, he asked me about Power Rangers theme song and how many of them were actually good, and I'm like, well, Mighty Morphin is catchy, a couple of them are good, everything after Overdrive is just no.
You know what one you're thinking of? You're thinking of Mystic Force. That was the one he submitted one for. I don't think he submitted one for Overdrive.
Oh no, you're right. Yeah, he submitted one for Mystic Force. That's right. Because that was when they stopped using his ones and they started going for the others. That's right. Yeah.
Another feather in the cap of all the things wrong with Mystic fucking Force.
Well, I didn't hate their opening as much as I dislike Overdrive's opening.
Their opening, okay,
it's at least catchy.
It grows on you after a little bit. It's not my favorite, but it grows on you after a bit.
I think it's a weak opening, but a decent theme.
Yeah, That's the best. Yeah, that's the best way to explain it.
But
Yeah.
My only
more boring because there's nothing really happening in it. They're just kind of showing ranger poses in one corner with the human actors on the other part.
mm-hmm.
My biggest
kind of boring. At least with Mystic Force, you're getting explosions and shit.
Yeah, explosions. No, Mystic Force. One of my complaints about Mystic Force was Xander never. Okay, I feel like Xander was like the natural leader of the group because like Nick was just a terrible leader, and I'm like,
yeah,
at all times.
Yeah, like, and I'm like, why? When did like Xander? Like this, literally halfway through the season, should have been like, okay, Xander, I suck at leading. I need you to take over as leader of the group. Like, I know I've been chosen as red, and that's fine. But literally, I suck at this.
Yeah,
like, that season also really felt like it was in New Zealand. Something about it.
Yeah,
but I wonder why.
I wonder what it was.
Yeah. Like even when they're dealing with like massive magical concepts, like when they go to the like rip-off Living Tribunal to get the genie wish reversed, he is just the most incompetent Red Ranger ever. Like, there's no respect, no deference, no wait. I'm in the presence of literal gods. Like just
such
nothing. Just like I am vaguely confused by what I am seeing.
Just because you have daddy issues doesn't mean that you yell at deities.
Like, you don't get to yell at gods because of my reasons.
Yeah, then it's just like, oh yes, Nick, it turns out me, Udonna, is your mother and Liambo is your father. It's just like, really?
I'm like, your mom is like the whitest lady in this show.
like, I really wish they had done more with Udonna because she was just wasted.
Oh, she was.
I think that they used Liambo pretty well in it. He was probably He was probably one of my favorite things.
Korag was like one of the best parts of that season.
What was it? They had the Genie Ranger dude. I liked him. He was pretty cool.
Yeah.
GG.
Yeah.
Yeah. Solaris Knight.
The Solaris Knight. Oh man. Okay. That was one of the few times where like the train came in as a Zord, and you're like, that's fucking cool.
Yeah.
You're like, damn straight. That is like cool like effing train. You're like,
okay, you know what? Actually, I'm gonna go back to Zords. I want to talk about. I forgot to mention this, but the Ninja Steel Megazord or the Ninja Megazord. That's an amalgamation of all sorts of different things. What the hell were they thinking when they designed it? Because one of them is a bullet train. One of them is a dump truck. One is a dog or a wolf. One's a dragon, and one is a red ninja dude. Yeah.
Two of these things reached into his toy box and just pulled out random shit.
Yeah, two of these things just do not belong here. Two of
these things are not like the others.
I'm okay with there being like a humanoid red ninja type robot, and I'm okay with having a dragon and a dog. That makes sense. But why a dump truck and a bullet train? It makes no sense.
Well, I mean, come on. Don't you know the mystic ninja art of riding bullet trains on the top?
Of course.
I mean, if you want to get down to the basis of themes, the yellow is supposed to represent Earth. So, dump truck. And bullet trains are fast, like ninjas.
I guess that. Yeah, I understand that part, but it's like
damn. I thought I was being unnecessarily fanficky for the sake of giving it more.
Actually, no.
I seriously do not understand why they had why there was like. I mean, even then later on, they had like a UFO. I'm like, what the hell is going on?
Like nobody gave a damn about Mystic Force enough to care about the mythology.
I'm sorry. Ninjas are fast like bullet trains. Bullet trains are fast like ninjas.
Are from Japan and so are ninjas. So
let's see. We got Wikipedia here. We'll find out.
I mean,
no, I know what Chris is saying because it's actually a part of the reason why why they have those. They are. Pink does represent speed, and yellow does represent strength. But the problem is that you pick the wrong type of vehicle for them to pilot.
Okay, are we really going to question this? Like, okay,
you could have gone with like a yellow minotaur for the thing, and then purple or like pink snake or like a viper or just bird, maybe.
I mean,
like
considering that you want it to be a vehicle, you want it to be the foot of the Zord because pink is a foot.
Well, I also want to point out that like our answer to fighting like alien beings was like, and ninjas seem like a good thing to stop those. I mean, like, yeah, they're just aliens. They're not like it's not like they're you know.
Well, the producer of Ninja, his reasoning was, they're supposed to represent
natural enemies of ninjas.
Yeah. They're supposed to be individual mecha are inspired by typical Sentai mecha classes.
Okay. So like okay, so he's not actually basing it off of like this the
thing. It's just supposed to be on different plots.
So wait, so what were they? So it would be
like each of them is based off of a mecha that's like common amongst like
like vehicle, animal, mystical.
Yeah.
I don't know where train comes in. Trains, planes, and automobiles. I don't.
Technology.
I guess, but there we have a dump truck.
It says here,
train and dump truck.
Well, it says here she hoped that the multiple components of the robot would be in line with the tenets of Cool Japan. The humanoid robot represents Budo. Don't know what that is. The dog emphasizes kawaii. The truck and train represent Japanese technology, while the dragon shows the influence on Japanese culture from abroad, since it's supposed to be a European dragon.
Yeah, no, he got drunk the night before and then put some shit together.
Buy that. Yeah.
It kind of works when you explain it like that. I mean,
but in the show itself, it's just like, why does this person have a train and this person has a dump truck?
You know, the reasoning behind it. It's like, okay, I get what the director is like going for, but as a concept, it just does not work.
Like if all of the like things had been vehicles instead of animals, and they each like represented a specific, like you could have had like the dump truck represent earth, and like a boat represent water, and like you could have done shit with the 4 elements and shit, and then they could have upgraded it with like a 5th elemental thing that would have represented spirit somehow, and like there are ways this could have worked, but none of the ways that you picked to make any kind of sense.
They all just are weird amalgamation.
The thing is, they still have to remember it has to fit with the theme of the show.
It's like it's a ninja themed show.
Yeah,
what does a train have to do with, and a dump truck have to do?
European dragon doesn't even have anything to do with ninjas.
That's true too.
Yeah, that only has to do
but at least European dragon registered as magical, so like
that at least mildly fits.
Especially given the
Blue Ranger that is supposed to be a magician
style medieval magic they've gone with.
Yeah, the Blue Ranger is supposed to be like a magician. Like, I don't know about Ninja Steel, but
he's a magician in that too.
Okay,
not a legitimate magician. He's a performing type magician.
Okay, because in Ninja, the Blue Ranger, he was studying abroad in England. That's why he also speaks.
So he's a Harry Potter fanboy.
Pretty much.
Brought the dragon back. He's like, yeah, that's English.
Yeah. Although I like
such a stretch.
I like the nod that his magic teacher is the Yellow Ranger from Magi Ranger. It's like, hey teacher, what are you doing here?
Lol.
Oh, sorry. I just got here. So.
What?
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Talking about trains and ninjas.
Yeah.
I mean, when you think ninja, what's the first things that come to your mind? Dump trucks, heavy machinery, trains, airplanes, dragons.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's what I think when I think ninja. How about you?
I mean, clearly, it's the first thing. I mean, it's not like it's not like they randomly put in a cowboy ninja like partway through the season.
Oh God!
Don't remind me of the Gold Ranger.
Oh God!
Just the silliest thing.
It was even sillier in Ninja because he's like, "Oh, I lived in America, and then I met your grandfather. I'm like, hey, I want to be a ninja as well."
So ninja cowboy makes sense. Adds up.
The ninja cowboy.
Well,
was that a movie, Cowboys and Ninjas?
It might have been.
Cowboys and
Aliens. There's a couple. Yeah.
I mean, there's tons of cowboy movies out there.
Well, they could have done that. It could have been like Cowboy Ninja, Pirate Ninja, and like just all the way down the line.
Night Ninja.
That could actually work. Like that would actually could have worked.
Samurai Ninja.
Ninja.
Train Ninja.
just the world. Everyone is also a ninja.
Yeah, pretty much.
This is massively off topic, but I was just scrolling through my Google notifications, and apparently they finally set a date for Sherlock Holmes 3 in the Robert Downey Jr. series of Sherlock Holmes movies.
I thought those were done.
I did too.
No, they're finally making a third one, and I'm excited because his Holmes is much more tolerable than his version of Tony Stark, in the sense that his version of Tony Stark is so accurate that I hate Tony in the same way I do in the comics. So,
I guess it's for.
So send your hate comments to Dalton Mortimer on Twitter.
Also, to the people already know or should know how I feel about Tony Stark.
I know, and I'm being a jerk.
Someone's going to be a ninja detective.
Someone is going to do it now just to troll the shit out of me, and I'm going to blame you.
I mean, maybe if you want to blame me for that, you got, man.
Switch. You don't know the deluge of like negative trolling comments I've gotten in the last 24 hours. What the hell, man?
I regret nothing. I'm a terrible person. I'm willing to admit this.
Yeah.
I literally I shouldn't become if Power Rangers were real, I would probably be one of the last candidates on that list. They'd be no.
Or you mean you weren't a teenager with attitude?
Yeah,
no.
Teenager with attitude. So
don't worry, you just have to have a bland expression like Troy.
Oh shit! Oh dang, son.
Yep.
I'm already out.
You just have to be cold, lifeless, and have no acting chops.
Yeah, and just yell Robo Knight.
Did they ever explain why they always choose teenagers? Like in some of the series, it doesn't matter, but in other ones where they're like, we've handpicked these people. Like the only one they've ever picked professionals was like Lightspeed Rescue.
Well,
it made sense because they were cadets.
Well, no, because Wild Force.
But why didn't Zordon take 5 Navy SEALs? I think Rita would have been defeated in
because he had been in that tube too long, and the lack of air was going to his head.
Yeah, it's just yes. Kids are our future, but what about teenagers? They're even more of our future. So let's pick them. Yeah, that makes so much sense.
Yeah,
there's got to be an explanation for that in the canon, right?
There's a lot of seasons where even though the Rangers are relatively young, I don't consider them like teenage high school students because a lot of the seasons they're just not doing that. You have Time Force. They're not teenagers.
Well, Time Force made sense because they're agents of this group.
Well,
not every season passes, but I'm talking when the mentor handpicks random kids out of nowhere. It doesn't make any sense.
Also, you're talking specifically when the mentor picks kids.
Yeah.
Okay. So in that case,
there's a couple where it's just even in fairness to Ninja Storm, the Academy's fucked up, and just these were the 3 people they had left, so they had to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's at least an excuse there. But there's other seasons where it's why these idiots?
Yeah.
Rabbit makes a very valid point because they know teens won't complain about not getting paid when they have to fight stuff. It's a very valid point.
Well, I mean that is a very valid point because there's that payment.
That worked in the 90s because things were relatively decent for everyone in the 90s, but now, given the teenage proclivity for social activism about literally anything ever, dude,
SJW
you are getting a Power Rangers union. You just need to suck it up. You are getting a Power Rangers union or the Power Rangers equivalent of Anti-Foul show.
Oh god, like could you imagine SJW Power Rangers just like you're the pink Rangers, like excuse me? Like are you telling me I have to fit this gender role? How dare you?
Look, kid, you want superpowers or not? Get the fuck out.
Pink is so gendered. And oh my god, the Yellow Ranger is Asian.
Why does the Red Ranger have to be a guy? Okay. Why is the Red Ranger
another Mighty Morphin and just made the Black Ranger black and the Yellow Ranger Asian? Oh god.
The funny thing is they didn't know until like a few episodes in.
Dino Thunder is not
because nobody cared about that kind of shit in the 90s. We all had better shit to do because things were relatively good.
No, people cared about that shit in the 90s. They just weren't as vocal about it. So what happened was they were a few episodes in before they realized they had the black guy as the Black Ranger and the Asian girl as the Yellow Ranger. And so that finally got pointed. I think like about 3 or 4 episodes in, they realized, and they're like, fuck, well, it's too late now. So, like,
which is the appropriate response for most things like that. Like, fuck you, it's too late.
Yeah.
I was a little kid. Black Ranger was my favorite. I thought he had the coolest outfit.
Yeah.
And he had an axe that was a gun. Come on.
I mean, yeah.
Awesome. Zach, before Tommy showed up, Zach was my favorite Ranger out of the two.
I have to agree. I think Tommy has always been my favorite in the Mighty Morphin era.
I also like Adam.
Green was my favorite color as a kid, and also motherfucking dragons, y'all.
Yeah,
but I also like Adam. Like Johnny Young Bosch was pretty cool, and then
he's actually probably one of the best actors on the series. But like his character kind of got shit on. They never really gave him stuff to do.
No, they didn't. Yeah. But I mean, he still. I mean, he was. No, I mean like that. Once a Ranger was pretty good for him. Like or not once a Ranger. The one where he came back and like his morpher was broken, and he like fought the dude to help the Black Ranger.
Yeah,
in space. Yeah.
Yeah, for In Space. I love that episode. That was still one of my to this day is one of my favorite episodes. I actually met Johnny Young Bosch, and he said that's actually one of his favorite episodes too, because like it was one of the times where his character actually got to do something really cool.
Yeah,
and he's like,
wasn't a fucking frog for an episode.
Yeah. Like, I'm not a frog.
If Zordon saw the current crop of recruits, he'd be like, "Well, fuck the Earth then."
Like,
yeah,
he would have just been like, "Yep, Rita, you can take it now, please. Just take it."
I'm gonna bounce. Have a good one.
I was wrong, Rita. This planet has not created anything worth saving. You may take it now.
Okay, so I'm gonna make a Nightwolf for like Ree. We're gonna do, instead of like Lupin versus Potter Ranger, we'll have SJW versus Gamergate Ranger.
You know what? I'm okay with that. I'm not going to review about that. I'm actually okay with that. If that's the direction they want to take it. Just so long as the Gamergate Rangers are the Lupin Rangers, I'm fine with it.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine if Zordon decided to recruit Rangers from Comicsgate?
Oh god! I'm like, oh shit! The shitstorm, like the shitstorm of that would be terrible.
Who would be who?
Well, we have 5 people here.
Well, we know Hot Pink would be the Pink Ranger. I think that's fair. No, and Nerd Wonder would be the Yellow Ranger.
Remember? Oh wait, no, she could be yellow. She could be light blue. It would be like one of those seasons where like light blue exists for the girls instead of like regular blue.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
I don't know why they do that.
She's light blue instead of
because
white Ranger.
It's a softer color, therefore more like stereotypically feminine, and girls tend to like lighter, softer colors anyway. On average, don't at me.
Yeah. There's a season. It's like they have a season where there's like the two Blue Rangers. You know.
So we got our Pink and we got our Blue Ranger. Who's our Black Ranger? Come on.
I don't know.
Oh, that's a good question.
Are we talking about people who are more prevalent in the community, or can anybody do this?
Well, I mean, I presume anybody can do this, but at the same time, like, who would you like? But like the best personality.
Like, who's directly the Comicsgate Black Ranger?
Yeah.
Like, but we have so many awesome.
Some guy. Okay, there we go. Some guy.
It works.
That's it.
What did you say? I didn't hear that.
I said just some guy.
Yeah. Actually, no. Like, have corrupt Mr. E just some. and just some guy like fight to the death.
Why do you guys
take the Black Ranger powers?
Weaponized Murder Ray, just the Black Ranger. You know what? That could also work.
You know, I
feel like he'd be the White Ranger or the Green Ranger.
I agree with that. Like,
no, I could see him as the Black Ranger because the black would match his gun.
Yep.
No, because
and the black also matches his soul.
No, because he'd be the Green Ranger. So it's before it became the White Pure Ranger, and he's like, he comes in there and he's like, "Screw you guys, I got a gun."
Just shoots everyone out of a Megazord cockpit.
One shot, all 5 people will fly out of the cockpit.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Oh God.
Who we got left? We got our White Green, we got our Black Ranger, we got our Pink Ranger.
Red
Ranger. We got our Pink Ranger. Red's like usually the
leader.
The leader.
That'd probably be like Anglantine.
No, I would consider him more.
It would be Captain Cummings. That's who it would be.
Captain
Cummings would be the Red Ranger.
Like, I'll be the mentor. No, John, you can't be. You're not part of this conversation.
Well, EBS would be Zordon in a freaking like jar.
That could work too.
Yeah.
Only a Cyclops version because of his avatar.
Oh, apparently Maxwell wants me to be. No, I don't think I could be Red Ranger.
Who's left? Yellow. Yellow's the only Ranger left, I think.
Yeah. Like
we could just go down the entire spectrum, and basically we could just do what the previous Sentai season did. Have so many Rangers, way too many.
Every color.
Well, I mean, like, okay, if we're adapting like we're adapting not Zoo. I mean,
Q Ranger.
Q Ranger, yeah. Like we might have enough. I mean, Q Ranger has like one of the biggest teams. Like
the only issue then would be deciding who gets which power.
Because with Q, I'm just saying Q Ranger has like 13.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, how do we determine based on like personality and shit who gets what power in that case?
Oh, it's like it's based on like many because you'd have to base it off like the personality of the person, like who's more who has more of an ego, who's more like straight laced, who's like more like silly, kind of things like that. Like all these factors are taken into it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then like who's more about money? Diversity in comics would be the Gold Ranger.
Makes total sense to me.
Or Yellow Flash.
No, Yellow Flash.
Actually, why isn't Yellow Flash the Yellow Ranger? There we go.
Yeah, Yellow Flash.
There we go.
Because he's cocky and he's a dick.
You get nothing, Yellow Flash. You get nothing.
No, wait, no. He'll be one of the Psycho Rangers that someone has to punch later.
Oh my! Oh, that's me.
I know. I'm taking a shot at him, and I don't care.
I don't care either. I mean, it's kind of me.
You never deserved him offer, so you get nothing.
Nothing. All right. What about Dalton? What Ranger is Dalton? We're choosing a Ranger for like everybody here, I guess.
Also, would my Ranger have to then still be handicapped?
Dalton's Alpha.
Oh God, Dalton, you're Alpha. Fuck. No, wait, no better.
You know what? I'm good with that. Fine.
I mean, or can Dalton be like? Well, Dalton could also be Patrol Knight, like the like the Patrol Knight from Turbo. Yeah, like
just guy who randomly shows up literally out of nowhere, and then no one.
But I'm a robotic police officer. Come on now.
Yeah. Dalton is Billy.
I know. I think I could see myself as like Gingy, the genie from Mystic Force.
Oh God!
I think you just down.
Rub my lamp. What?
I think there's a major downgrade.
I am not here to service your needs. What?
Yeah. Oh. You know, I could also see that.
So needless to say, the planet is doomed. Correct.
Yeah.
Okay. What about Chris? What Ranger is Chris then at this point? Then if we're doing this specifically, like, which one does he remind you of?
Probably either a green or a blue Ranger that's goofy and ridiculous and likes to, or it's very memeable.
We officially need fan art for this.
Oh wait, no, can Chris can be the green SPD Ranger, and he'll be like, he literally like, I want a picture of him like with his fingers like going and like saying buttery. Like, it's funny because like that Green Ranger is probably the smartest member, but the most silly member on that team.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh yeah, okay, Chris, this works fine. Like,
or slight vibes from like Ziggy from RPM.
Oh god, Ziggy from RPM. No,
Ziggy's the chick, right?
No,
Ziggy's.
No, he's the goofball.
He's the goofball. So what happened was in that season, I love that because it's like, okay, so we need to find a candidate for the Green Ranger. They literally give him the morpher, and they say, no, we need to find a candidate for the Green Ranger. And I'm like, okay, no, you just messed up. You literally gave him the morpher. But he goes out and he tries to find a candidate for the Ranger, and they're like, the villains show up and they want to steal the morpher from him. And he then has a flashback and says, oh, it's like something you should also remember. When the morpher goes off, it DNA tracks the person that first uses it. So that means no one else can use it other than the person who's used it the first time. Okay. And he's like, so they literally surround him, and he only becomes a Green Ranger at that moment because it's like, fuck, I don't want them to get it.
I literally have no other choice.
Like,
yeah, it was so obvious the first time they did it. It was like, okay, the one is standing right in front of you, that one there, like the one you just literally handed the morpher to. Yeah. No, yes, no.
Yeah.
like that always kind of pissed me off about before Ken became the Samurai Ranger and Ninja Storm. I was just like, dudes, after all the shit he's gotten you out of, you don't even make him a Ranger. And then of course they made him a Ranger and he was awesome. So
yeah.
Oh man.
So I got young Power Rangers loving me was just like, yay, I told you all so. Because Ken was always my favorite character. Because it was like
Cam
character I can vaguely relate to. Yeah.
Oh, Cam is cool.
Or Cam.
Yeah, his name's not Cam, it's Cam.
Like the Black Ranger in that season was also pretty cool. And then what I liked about it is the Yellow Ranger called him out on the shit like in the second or first episode where she's just like, yeah, it's like, so it's like, oh, are you just like it's like, oh yeah, so you're the girl, like the Yellow Ranger, and you're just supposed to be there to be like pretty and all that kind of stuff. And he's like, oh yes, and you're just supposed to be the obnoxious brat of a black is like the opposite obnoxious brat. That's great. So when is this going to like whole character development evolve? And you want to get out of jail here? Like we're just gonna like call you out on your shit right away. Fuck you.
Yeah, RPM was really clever with its writing.
Yeah. God damn. It was a good season. I liked it. So no, we went through Chris, we got Dalton. Then there's like Tim, Nightwolf, and I guess myself. Who would be what like on this panel here? Who's what in this case scenario? Like, let's see.
I don't know.
Switch would be one of the 6th Rangers. One of the like starts out evil because reasons, but turns good.
What? Okay, I start out evil and I turn good. Okay. Yeah. Specifically, is there a specific one you had in mind that makes more sense for me?
You're not enough of a dick to be the Quantum Ranger.
I'm enough of a dick to be.
Yeah, is Switch really that much of an asshole?
That's what I mean. He's not enough of
like the White Dino Thunder Ranger at first. Like that was sort of what I was thinking. But
wait, what are you thinking of?
I don't remember enough of the 6th Rangers really to make a judgment call.
Okay.
Most of the 6, there's very few 6. There are only so many 6 Rangers who are actually nice when they show up.
Yeah, most of them are most of the 6 Rangers start out as evil henchman character number 1, 2, 6, 5.
It's either that or they're just lone wolves and they don't want to interact with the party.
Yeah, like they're like they don't want to.
Because that's what Wild Force did. It's like he did his own thing.
For Switch, I'm thinking White Dino Thunder Ranger.
Wow, so he has a split personality.
Okay. He doesn't have a split personality.
No, I think he would. he's what the White Dino Thunder Ranger would have been if the White Dino Thunder Ranger was consistent and didn't have split personality. He was that much of an asshole to begin with.
He just strikes you as white. What does that say about you, my friend?
Like, oh dang.
The White Ranger is always an asshole in the Dino Thunder series. I don't want to hear it.
So Rabbit's like, no, man.
Unless you're saying that Dino Thunder is racist, which good luck.
Rabbit's just like, oh no, Switch is a regular Joe with a regular job. Like, oh man. So
the unlucky comic relief. Smaxo is our comic relief, guys. He's part of our Bulk and Skull group.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Apparently, he's our bulk. He's one of our. I'd say Smax is more of our skull than our bulk.
Yeah.
Like no offense or anything, Smax, but at least you got the better. I think you got the better end of that deal, anyways. Skull was funnier in my opinion.
Yeah.
Now
Bulk was just kind of.
He set up the jokes.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, the guy who plays Bulk does the writing for most of the did the writing for the show for a little bit too.
Yep.
So that's cool.
Yeah. He's also
he was a producer. He directed some episodes too.
Why were Bulk and Skull never like mentors? Like that would have been a really interesting thing to do.
Because it takes competent writing, and by the time that was coming up, they kind of had turned that away.
Because the most you'll ever get is Bulk showing up in Samurai with Skull's child.
Yep. It's like, wait, Skull reproduced?
It's like, ugh.
We now have full generations, ladies and gentlemen. Weep for humanity.
Well, but that makes you question. It's like, why didn't Bulk ever get a lady friend?
Yeah. Well, he's the Yellow Ranger.
Maybe the daughter is a test tube baby, and they finally had a passionate gay love affair.
But no, and Hyperforce, he's right there.
Paul Scryer. Yeah, he's a Yellow Ranger.
Well, he is the Yellow Ranger, but he's not playing Bulk. But it is. No. I think it's supposed to be hinted that has like characters like related to Bulk or something. If I remember correctly.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, Nightwolf, I'd imagine would be. Ooh. I'm just trying to think of this one through. I'm thinking if you're more of a red or more of a blue Ranger.
I think blue.
I normally am. Blue is my favorite color.
Yeah, and his icon is blue too. So yeah.
Yeah,
I'm sure he's not. What the fuck's the name of the night one?
No, you're all wrong. I'm actually a common rider.
He's a common rider. You mean Robo Knight or?
Nope. Screw Robo Knight.
God, what the hell's the name of the other one? Isn't the Blue Centurion? No, he's not a knight though. No, he's not a knight. But yeah, the cop, the Blue Centurion. The one that's like it's like a knight that's like blue or black or something.
Yeah, you're thinking of the Centurion from Turbo, right?
Maybe.
It's either that or you're thinking of the Magna Defender.
That's what I'm thinking of.
Oh, the Magna Defender. Okay.
I don't know. He's not as serious as the Magna Defender.
I'm the jokey Magna Defender.
Yeah, you're the comic relief Magna Defender. It's just like, hey, remember when I almost died?
Wait, so then he's Ninjor. There you go.
Oh no.
Okay, Penny.
Oh, Nightwolf cannot be Zenaku. Zenaku is too serious.
I'm trying to remember who Zenaku is.
From Wild Force. It was the 6th Ranger's like evil form.
Like, well, we can always just say you're the blue super mega force. I'm joking.
I will bench.
He's saying so no, fuck you. he's no. But
no, thanks. I'm good. I don't want to be Noah.
Hey, I'm a ranger from fucking Mystic Force, probably my least favorite season. So you can suck it up and be the Mega Force.
No, screw that. I would rather be from Wild Force. I'd rather be Zenaku.
Actually, Blue from Wild Force was pretty cool. Actually, from Wild Force.
Yeah.
Zenaku's cool.
I was thinking more of along the line of being the Wolf Ranger, but that's fine with me. At least it fits.
That's the one I'm thinking of. Okay.
Yeah, Merrick.
Of course, because Night Wolf. Well,
get it? See, how uncreative I was.
Oh wait, which Wolf?
I just
Wolf
took his
Ranger?
name
Okay, so,
and
like, so we had Merrick from Wild Forest, but then we also have like the Purple Wolf Ranger from Jungle Fury. Yeah.
RJ. Yeah, maybe.
yeah.
Well, he was
the one that's RJ. Yeah.
RJ's like the mentor and like the wolf.
I love when the mentor is also a ranger.
Yeah.
It's just like
look
at what you could do if you took yourself seriously for 5 minutes. Allow me to
RJ
show you all
is
the
different,
shit.
but yeah, I liked RJ quite a bit. He was one of my favorites. I also really liked the SPD
Doggy Kruger
Ranger.
It's one of the things I wish they had done more with Udana, because she does transform into like a white ranger a couple of times,
and she loses the power almost instantly.
Yeah, it's like, there's our 6th ranger already, and fuck you.
Well, that's mainly because they wanted to follow the Sentai. It was the same thing.
The thing of it is, her outfit was
in the
Sentai,
amazing
when she transformed.
I think they do the same thing in SPD, right? Isn't Kat the Orange Ranger for like 2 seconds?
Yeah,
she's only there for 1 episode. Yeah.
There's like on episode 2 where what's his name thinks like imagines he's the Red Ranger, the Orange Ranger, I should say.
Oh, maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
Frugal could be Doggy Kruger. So he gets to be the Shadow Ranger.
Yeah.
Frugal secretly knows like all the moves, man.
Wouldn't surprise me. I would not bet against Captain Frugal.
Should be Goldar by Peter.
I always thought Kruger's voice sounded like Charlie Sheen.
I never thought of it that way.
I don't know. It's just so random. It's just I've always thought that.
A little bit. I can hear what you're hearing. I think now that you said that.
There you go.
I don't know.
Whatever. I shared that.
I don't know. Is Goldar really a wolf, or is he basically just some sort of weird Sphinx monster?
I was always doing some kind of Sphinx monster.
Yeah,
he's a gold gargoyle. Is basically what.
Yeah, I thought he was more gargoyle.
Well, because they also had the monster that was also a Sphinx too, but.
They also had like a monster.
That was its own monster, though. I think, right?
Yeah.
They also had like a character called Scorpina, who.
What? Yeah. I don't remember what happened to Scorpina.
She just kind of disappeared after a while.
Disappeared.
Yeah.
She was hot.
As soon as they ran out of footage for Zoo Ranger, Scorpina disappeared. Because in Zoo Ranger, at the ending, they're all trapped, but Scorpina and Goldar had a child.
Oh, that's
okay.
What?
Now I want that backstory.
Yeah, because what's her name? Her name's.
They need their own series now.
That's
an amazing love story there. And
because in Zoo Ranger she's called. Yeah, because in Zoo Ranger she's Goldar's counterpart, Griforza. She's his wife in the series.
Goldar is a griffin. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, right at the end there, they had a child together. But because it's Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and they ran out of footage, she just disappears.
Don't mind me. I'm out.
Gave an actual reason.
They went to a peace conference too.
Probably.
Or an anti-peace conference in space.
Yeah, it even says
war conference.
Although she insisted she'd be back, Scorpina was never seen again. Her current status is unknown.
She just turned out to be the most badass villain, and she's been training this whole time.
She comes back as like the ultimate villain of one of the seasons. Yeah, well, that's where she was all along.
Well, she was in. I think Hyperforce has been bringing back villains as well. She was in there.
Oh, Rabbit's making.
Yeah, what is that? What is that Hyperforce thing?
It's it's an online kind of RPG.
So it's a D&D RPG style like Power Rangers game.
Tabletop RPG.
Yeah, and it's been doing really well. It's actually been really popular for them. And this year they're supposed to be, not this year, next year, some of that. They're supposed to be releasing the actual game for like people to play at home if they want to. And
okay. So
it's supposed to be
like what the hell is it called? lowest role. What the hell's the name of that? The one that Matthew Mercer does, but it was like Cowboys Power Rangers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Hyperforce is supposed to be a kind of sequel to Time Force because they're all of them are all cadets at the Time Force Academy, and their mentor is Jen, the Pink Ranger.
Okay.
Yeah. Although the thing is, like, they like the Green Ranger for there, who also played the Blue Ranger in Dino Charge. Like in Hyperforce, he's married to Nadira from Time Force. I'm just like, wait a second. She was obviously hooked up with the Blue Ranger. What the fuck happened there? Stop ruining the canon.
Canon? What is canon? We don't care about canon here.
We don't take kindly to canon around these parts, boy.
This goes to show having all the gold is guaranteed to get you laid.
That was clearly Goldar's strategy. That's all I know.
Yeah,
pretty much.
And Rabbit's like, I'll put myself in the corner for that one.
Movie in the 2017 movie, he was literally made of gold. Which I did like that he was sort of a gold golem. That she like literally forged out of gold, and that she just sort of skipped to the giant stage rather than.
I don't think people would have been offended by that as much if it had been like. I think if the robot had looked good, the Megazord looked terrible, the special effects looked terrible.
Yeah, the effect,
I think that's why.
What really botched that bit. But in concept, at least, I kind of like the idea of Goldar is actually a golem made of gold. Because it also makes sense with his name being Goldar.
You actually shared it with Weapon. Oh my god, Tim.
Wait, what happened?
So yeah, we're now officially sharing Rangers.
Oh no, okay, we're telling Wep that he's okay. Yeah. We actually didn't tell Tim what Ranger he would be.
Oh yes, I don't know.
He can be comic relief with Smaxa. I'm kidding.
Maranya is the white ranger that Udana was only like for like 5 seconds, but she actually gets to keep the powers.
Congratulations.
She'd be one of the mentors then. Not as effective as the other mentors, but still mentor. Oh no. I don't know. I would
Well, we haven't chosen red, so I think that's it.
I think that's it. Tim's red. All right, cool.
There we go.
Yes, you're the Red Ranger, but you're Rocky, so you're not really the leader.
We still put more thought into who goes where than Zordon ever did.
Yeah.
Fair point. It's a fair point.
Poor Rocky.
There was actually a selection process with us. He was just like, any old 5 teenagers with attitude, whatever.
Yes. Doesn't matter that they don't know how to really fight, but
but
I was
they're all martial artists.
In the selection process's defense, they did like all do like fighting shit. So
yeah, I mean,
except for Billy.
Teenagers.
Good night, Rabbit. Sorry, I had to tell Rabbit good night.
Well, except for Billy. Billy was the only one that didn't really have anything to do, and then they had to put that into storyline.
Gymnastics, I thought, with Kimberly, didn't he?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. Did he?
Yeah, he did train with them.
He was like ripped as shit, man.
Because they did have, because in real life he's actually like a gymnast and he's like ripped, and there's like we have to put it into storyline that he gets Jason to teach him how to fight. Yeah. So he can wear less baggy clothes that make him look nerdier.
Well, I mean,
that's the reason why he dresses like that, because they wanted to portray him as the nerdy type, so they couldn't show him like with muscles.
It makes sense because in personality, at least, he is kind of like that in real life. From everything that I'm aware of.
Yeah,
like, he is more like introverted and subdued and shit, despite being ripped as all get out.
Well, the only reason that he's ripped is because like he actually did like do on top of also being like a nerdy and stuff like that. He also did do like a lot of like martial arts training and a lot of muscle and a lot of like muscular work and stuff like that. Yeah. So it's kind of the tone of the body because like all the children that were hired in that all the people that were hired for that show, I should say, were all trained martial artists because again, limited budget. Yeah, like limited budget is limited.
And also, if you're going to make your show entirely dependent on kung fu and shit, you probably should get some people that know shit about kung fu and shit.
Until like the later seasons when you can
season 1.
Until like the later seasons when you can like cover their faces up when they do a flip.
Someone points out Zordon is diversity in comics. Well, that would make.
I don't know.
I don't know about that one.
I'd say England team's more the Zordon.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm with you on that one.
Yeah.
I think diversity in comics is more Gosei. Kind of showed up later.
Yeah, he's like I am the Zordon sent me. But then in all reality, it's like, wait, where have you been? This guy just show up last minute and expect everyone to just like take your advice.
Yeah.
Fun times. And
yes, people, we really did just spend like the last 20 minutes psychoanalyzing people through Power Rangers. We're nerds, whatever.
Well, at least it makes Weapon happy.
There's enough Power Rangers that we can do it.
Yep. At least it makes Weapon happy that he gets to be the green/white ranger.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, he's like, fuck, they get to be the best ranger.
That's perfect for Wep. I can imagine him going, wait, I have to do what to summon the Dragon Sword? Fuck this shit, I'm getting a gun.
He just shoots it. He shoots the gun in the air. That's his dragon dagger.
Somebody get out of that. That would be awesome.
He like reforges the dragon dagger into a dragon blaster.
Because why not?
Find a way to magically reforge it into a dragon blaster instead. Like, fuck this. I'm not using a knife when I have a gun.
Maranya makes a valid point. You realize that I'm white, so make me the White Ranger is. It's not appropriate. How dare you?
Oh my.
And Zordon would cough every time.
Actually, that alone would be probably worth it.
Just like
Ranger. Danger.
He's like coughing.
And Nurkish would be Alpha.
Yeah. Oh my god.
What? I'm sorry, I missed that last part. I was laughing too hard.
Nurkish should be Alpha.
Yep, sounds perfect. We've got our Zordon and our Alpha. It's confirmed now, guys.
We have officially done this properly, guys.
Yep, it's now official canon.
Yes.
Someone make me all the fan art with this.
Now, quickly take this to Hasbro.
I request much.
I don't think they would care. I think they'd be like,
out of it.
The Comic Gate Rangers.
The Comic Gate Rangers. Oh man, fudge.
Comic Gate Tiger.
Well, now we got. I mean, who's Rita and Zed? There's the question.
I mean, is Michelle Perez real?
Does Max count?
And Ta-Nehisi Coates.
Oh god.
And I know who Tom Brevoort can be. He could be the blueberry guy.
Wait. Who's Ooze?
What?
I have an Ooze.
Joe Glass.
Either that or Tim Doyle.
Ooze was personable though. He was the best
Man.
part of that piece of shit movie.
He was the only good part of that movie.
I loved that guy. It was awesome.
Like he actually had charisma, so you were like, "God damn it, Ooze!" Like
He loves
I'm
being
here for
a
you.
big guy.
Tom Brevoort is Ivan Ooze. No, he doesn't have enough charisma to count.
Rich Johnston.
Ah, yes, Rangers, please feast upon my hindquarters.
Like Max
summons the.
Yeah, who would Dan Slott be? Mark Waid as Machine King.
Oh my god, what his name is? Slott would be Fenster. Or what the hell's the other guy? Squat. There's Baboon and Squat.
Well, I thought I said that Tom Brevoort would get to be Squat.
Okay, well then he Baboon. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Is Axel Alonso who would Axel Alonso be?
Would it be Zed? I guess.
Right? Okay, Dan Slott would be that peg villain that like shows up on like one episode.
The one there you go.
The one they kill with spicy food.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay.
No,
he gets to be a one-off.
Alonso would be Dark Spectre.
Are we gonna try? Are we gonna try saying who Diva Talks is?
Yeah, I was gonna say that's already
doing it. Max Bemis as Diva Talks' father.
Wasn't her father that like weird like lava golem in the movie?
Yeah. Axel Alonso would be Scorpius. Well, he has a bug that gets to be squashed.
Why?
I want to be like Samuel L. Jackson, demand a purple Power Ranger, because that's so much cooler.
Well, I mean, we already have purple Power Rangers. I mean, we have the purple Wolf Ranger and we have the purple Dino Ranger from.
I'm not purple. I'm silver. What are you talking?
The purple RJ is the purple Wolf Ranger from.
I know. I was gonna go with the Wild Force one because I actually like his design slightly better.
No.
Way as Magog.
I mean, I like purple. Purple's a good color. That's great.
I'm not opposed to purple, but
would Heather Antos be Scorpina?
I can see that. That makes sense, actually.
Yep. Yes, he's ancient and probably invented evil.
And there was that purple ranger that showed up in Dino Supercharged. Because whatever her name was.
Terry Conway could master org his old.
I just read that. Oh god.
We're just having fun at this point. We're just messing with people.
We're just terrible.
Who would be astronomer?
Huh?
Who would be astronomer? That'd be hard to decide.
She switches sides though. I don't know. We haven't anybody.
Wait, no, Corrupt can be an astronomer because Corrupt used to be SJW. And
that's true. He's our astronomer.
Yeah.
There we go.
Heather Antos can't be an astronomer.
And so that means
that would have to indicate that she actually cares,
and that would indicate that Corrupt is then our pink Galaxy Ranger.
He's like.
The best part about that is he would love that.
So be sure to share that with Corrupt later. I'm sure that
he would love that. He would be like, yes.
Corrupt is astronomer / second pink Galaxy Ranger.
You see, there you go. Now we have a man as a pink ranger. There we go. Diversity.
Passaggio was the Diva Talks. There you go.
Oh god. Well, considering how annoying Mangs is, I guess that works.
Now you're imagining you're telling one of her minions to cut her nails and make sure that it's round and not square.
Which one's Venjix? I'm trying to remember. Which villain that is.
Because I don't remember.
What was the name of the
from RPM?
It's the.
Yeah. Venjix was the psychotic AI.
Yeah, he was the AI thing.
He's popping.
No, he's Gary Conway because everybody is a bot.
Oh, there we go.
Are we casting villains now? By the way, sorry,
we casting villains. Sorry.
Pretty much.
Who's going to be Serpentera?
Who's gonna be evil
Serpentera?
Yeah. Who's gonna be the evil Beetleborgs that showed up in Forever Red?
Did we cast Ivan Ooze yet?
Yeah,
no, I don't think so.
Yeah, we did. For Ivan Ooze, we had. Who did we have as Ivan Ooze?
Joe Glass.
Yeah, it was Joe Glass. Yeah, Joe Glass was Ivan Ooze.
What about the main Emperor dude from the Machine Empire?
Wait, we had somebody. Didn't we?
Someone put Mark Waid as Machine King.
Yeah, somebody in the chat did.
Alana Smith.
I'm okay with him being Machine King, actually.
What about Diva Talks? Who's Diva Talks?
Max Massaggio.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect.
Still makes me laugh. I love it.
King
King Mondo. Yeah, that was his name. Yeah, King Mondo, the Machine Empire King.
Okay.
Then we had Michelle Perez was Rita.
Wait, I thought we already settled that Heather Antos was Rita and that
No, Heather Antos was Scorpina.
Okay.
But if we want to put them as like fake couple, Heather Antos can be Rita, and then Jordan D. White is Zed.
or no. Easy Ghosts.
I guess he'd be Goldar then, if that was the case.
Jordan D. White is Goldar. Like fat Goldar like just comes in. Like the gold barely stays on him.
No, I think Dan Slott should be Goldar.
Who did we see Dan Slott was?
Let's not include CB in this. Come on now. It's just...
No, Dan. Sorry, I said Dan Slott was a pig enemy. That's a one-off pig.
Yeah, he gets one episode. That's it.
And we stop him with spicy food.
Dan Slott is Cubo from Ninja Storm.
Oh God,
we're forgetting Rito.
Oh, Rito. Rita's brother, the skull dude. The skeleton. Who'd be Rito? Oh man,
Daryl Ayo.
Huh?
Daryl Ayo.
Daryl Ayo.
Yeah.
Daryl Ayo will have to be someone who's forgettable.
Well, we all forgot that guy up until like right there.
Yeah.
We've got the perfect cast for you, Daryl Ayo. You play as the skull dude that like showed up for like a season. It was a legitimate threat, but we forgot all about
Rito was annoying.
Yeah. Yep, it's a fair point. Daryl Ayo is now Rito. It is now confirmed.
Yeah, there you
go. Which one off is Kwanzaa? Like he already talks like a super villain.
He does. That's why it fits. Like Kwanzaa can be
who was the armadillo guy from Mighty Morphin? The armadillo like monster.
Oh, that thing?
Oh my god, what was that thing called?
Oh my god.
Or no, who was the like technician that made all of Rita's monsters?
Socadillo. That was a Fenster.
Oh, Fenster.
Yeah.
Actually, that would be a good Kwanzaa role because he would just talk in his rhymes as he does his spell.
Yeah, Kwanzaa.
Like Fenster would be a good choice. I can see Fenster working because he's like, I'm making the monsters, yo.
Making the monsters, power, oppression.
That we have to fight.
and all the monsters come out black and Rita's just like, what the fuck?
This is fun.
They're black
misunderstood. the monsters are so oppressed and monsters' rights movement.
Major Tom monsters. It would be Vipra.
Oh, I forgot who Viper was. Oh, fuck.
Oh. I don't know.
Oh, that's because Viper was like, no offense to the actress, but she couldn't act.
No,
she was really bad.
Rancic, the probably most awesome villain of the.
Probably none of them, because that would degrade Rancic.
Yeah, Rancic is above.
I don't think anybody's worthy of being Rancic. Like he was.
Alana Smith is Vipra.
Rancic was by far
she's a horrible editor.
Solo villain.
It's true.
Oh my god.
Because he was just so like dark in kind of a twisted way, and it was awesome.
Well, yeah, but Rancic like actually had a character arc, so
the main antagonist for Jungle Fury too.
Yeah,
with the Daishi.
I think he's also the only villain that actually fully redeemed, wasn't it? Rancic.
Rancic and Daishi.
Yeah.
Or well,
Daishi
the human that was in the human that
they didn't redeem Daishi. They redeemed the being that he possessed.
Yeah. Rancic's the only villain that ever redeemed.
Oh yeah, he is the only villain that ever redeemed himself.
So he's also the only actor also in Commando.
So he's
yes, he was.
What the fuck is his name? Chip Zdarsky.
So a villain that was terrible to begin with, and just kind of redeemed himself. I don't know. He could be that. He could be that Yeti from Operation Overdrive.
I think I'm funny.
What is his name? I'm gonna look that up now. Remember that Yeti? Oh god,
I forgot.
The comic relief.
Yeah, he was the comic relief villain. I remember.
He was the comic relief. Chip Zdarsky as Lothar.
Yes. Yep, that works.
Perfect.
Okay, yeah, there we go.
It's perfect. 10 out of 10.
Who is his annoying?
Oh, here he is.
Norg. That's what his name was. It was Norg.
Yeah. Why does Because so here's the thing about why was this character even in the show?
Who, Norg?
Yeah, Norg.
I don't know why.
Because he's not even in the Japanese.
Because the Noid wasn't available.
Well, neither was Flurios. Neither was the one he was serving. He wasn't in the Japanese one either. They replaced him with a different character.
Yeah, so that ice villain wasn't even in there. So I'm like, why would you add this random ice villain? And then you add this weird Yeti for him to have as. And the funny thing is, he didn't even know who the Yeti was when he first showed up. He's like, "Who are you?" Oh, okay. Okay, now I guess he's a minion of mine. What the fuck?
Because reasons.
Because logic dictates it.
Comic relief.
No, comic relief on my side. It. More powerful than logic in this context.
Well, who's the random Japanese kid in front of the screen in that one episode?
I mean, you never know. You'll never find out. Maybe he's the true power of the Power Rangers. Japanese child. Yeah, of course.
Who would we cast as a Troy? I feel like we need to cast someone as Troy.
Can Yellow Flash be Troy? I'm kidding.
Yes.
No, we have to somebody who's the most bland ranger. Blandest rangers.
The blandest member of Comicscape. I don't know. I don't really know anybody that is that boring. Except for maybe Chris.
Ouch.
Ouch.
Hey,
shots fired from all the way across the ocean to Australia.
I take shots at him, and he knows that I do it out of fun.
we already used Nurkish. Oh, god damn it! That would have been a wait. No, Underground Geek.
Can we just say it's meta? Meta's
no, meta's cool. I think it would have to be one of those in the Yellow Flash portion of not Yellow Flash specifically, just one of his cronies.
Underground Geek is kind of bland.
Yeah.
His delivery's a little bit on the flat side.
Underground Geek is Southern Comfort Ranger. Come on.
The Southern Comfort Ranger. I mean, I wouldn't mind making Underground Geek the Red Troy Ranger. I mean, sure.
Yep.
There you go.
And Geek
he's still technically a ranger. He's not relegated to bulk and skull status, so he can't bitch.
Yep. He still gets to be a ranger.
So wait, who's Super Dark Water
with that? So fuck you if you complain about this.
No. Oh god, I don't know.
I'm just saying.
I'm thinking for some reason. I'm thinking off the top of my head somebody from Operation Overdrive.
Oh wow!
I don't know why. I'm trying to remember. I remember there was
Operation Overdrive. He has to be at least we have to be nice to him, make him the Red Ranger, the only good character in that season.
No.
Like,
who are
no.
we casting? No.
I'm trying to remember because I don't know. He's very weird.
Are you talking about the Blue Ranger?
No, I'm talking about Super Dark Water.
No, the Blue Ranger in Operation Overdrive is like very weird. Remember, because he always thought he was like, I'm going to be like a cool actor type.
Oh yeah. I think that was why I was thinking.
Actor with a capital A. Yeah.
Yeah.
Super Dark Water is stats.
Actor.
Oh god.
Yeah, I'm Skull. Damn it. So long as you're okay with being Skull, I'm not gonna fight you. But yeah, I was trying to.
Sounds like he's okay with Skull. I mean, the bonus he has is by the time like Samurai shows up, we learn that Skull's like a multimillionaire and owner of a business,
and had a kid, which means that he got lucky.
So
somehow.
I mean,
somehow.
I'm telling you, it's Balkan Skull's gay test tube love child.
I mean, the downside is that you forgot to go out of space because Balkan the professor left you.
That's true. That's true because you slept in and they didn't wake you up.
Well, at least it gave him more time to be productive.
How did he even get back from fucking? Like, I want to hear that story. Like
how Bulk got back from space.
Just Bulk like interstellar hitchhiking back to Earth.
He is the Deus Ex Machina.
Like maybe he got the powers of like when the like okay, did the Galaxy Rangers team up with any of the they teamed up with any of the Earth Rangers at all?
Space.
Yeah.
They teamed up with Space and then teamed up with Lightspeed.
Yep.
As well.
Okay, so Bulk snuck on board when they were going to team up with Lightspeed. Wait, no, Lightspeed was
just
the
returned
season before. Or was Lightspeed the season after? No, Lightspeed was the season after.
Lightspeed is the season after.
Yeah, so they...
That or we can just admit that Lost Galaxy didn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah.
You're like, looking back at this, like, how advanced
we
is
can admit that it
humanity
didn't
at
make
that
any
point?
fucking sense and also use it.
Like, how advanced is humanity in Lost Galaxy? And then everything afterwards is just plain old modern day humanity. Like, humanity back then was able to achieve, like, interstellar colonization.
I want to point out that you have to also accept the fact that like they didn't get their ranger powers from like some like magical entity that gave it to them. They got it from like mystical swords. That indicates that whoever had those mystical swords before pretty much was also Power Rangers at some point. So I mean the continuity fucked already.
We could get a retro season of those characters. That would be.
I'm sorry, Smax. That was too good.
Well done, Smack. Though.
I thought we agreed to see a Zord. I thought we agreed to see a Zordon, except instead of seeing a face in a tube, it's a scratch.
Oh god!
Can you just imagine that? It's just like Rangers. I need your help.
This comic was terrible.
We need to make this fan art now. Like for real. Someone in the comments get on the fan art that is necessary for this to exist.
Oh no, the most boring Rangers comic explained.
Yep.
Okay, fine. Then he gets to be Troy.
Yep. Troy.
Okay, so Rob gets.
Actually, no. Fuck it. Make him comic historian because I actually don't have too much of a problem with Rob. Comic historian pisses me off. Like
explain Rob gets to be Noah.
Okay.
No, he's Gosei apparently.
Wait, Rob is Gosei.
Comics explained as
Rob likes to read from a script and thinks he knows everything, so much like Gosei.
But like, yeah, fair enough. But like, comic historian pissed me off because he's all like, I'm better than you because I actively ignore the things that are happening, even though I profess to be the comic historian. Fuck you. I
Yeah.
think it's a sour spot for you.
like if you're designate like in my opinion, if you pick a like label designation like that, you need to live up to that designation.
That's fair. Also, I want
to. If your name is literally the comic historian, then you might want to act like a comic historian.
Yep.
Is what I'm saying.
Holy shit! I just realized something. Why didn't I think of this before? What if Nerd Wonder is the silver RPM Ranger? Actually,
yes.
Oh yeah.
Considering how high, but she needs a twin.
Who is her hyper twin?
Chad Wonder?
Chad.
He gets to be the gold RPM Ranger? Does that work?
Yep, there we go. I mean, yeah, brother, sister, so yeah.
I guess Piper.
Piper is the gold RPM.
Actually, no. The other one should be Feisty.
Feisty. We got everyone casted.
There you go.
Pretty much.
We're working on it.
Internet to your fan art.
I think I still one of my favorite scenes from RPM is like, oh, red is the perfect one. Black is the moody is the moody one. Yellow, she's the girl. What are you supposed to be? I'm Scottish. Like the blue RPM Ranger.
Wouldn't that be Crumple?
Yes.
He's the intoxicated Ranger.
He's intoxicated.
Blue
intoxicated blue RPM Ranger. He's drunk.
He's the intoxicated blue RPM Scottish Ranger. So, but make sure if you do tell Crumple, make sure to tell him that he's the Scottish Blue Ranger
from RPM,
and send them the link with the "I'm Scottish" link if you can find it on YouTube.
He's the Tartan Ranger.
You probably have a good laugh with that. Actually,
the Ranger secretly wearing a kilt under his Ranger suit.
Actually, no, he did wear a kilt in the show, so
he did.
That works. Yeah. At least at the wedding.
I liked him actually. He was pretty cool.
Yeah, he was cool.
Yeah.
We haven't done Comics Division yet.
Comics Division can be the red RPM Ranger. He's perfect. He tries to be perfect and proper, but doesn't get as much character development as the rest of them.
My God.
But he's the leader of the team, so it's okay. No. It's okay because he's the leader of the team.
Going to hell, folks.
Hey, because Comics Division gets a saving grace. He's the one who stops the bad guy at the end, so it actually kind of works out in the end too.
I was trying to think of another Ranger, so it's like I can't think of any in particular off the top of my head.
I think we've exhausted them. I don't think there's any.
Comics Division could be Arc the Conqueror, according to Smax. Oh no.
Yeah, we've pretty much exhausted everybody.
You want him to be the giant tinky head?
Why would you do that to him?
Why do you hate Comics Division? What did he do to you?
In my scenario, at least he saves Earth. I mean, he just doesn't get as much character development as everybody else.
Nothing to nobody, so
yeah.
Weaponized his Darkon. Well, considering he's also the green and white Ranger together respectively, yes, we can call him Darkon.
Darkon, the villainish version of himself. Oh no.
Yep. He could be Signal Man, Blue Centaurian.
You really don't think very much of I don't think Smaxwell thinks very much of Comics Division. I'm looking for bland characters for Comics Division to play.
For Comics Division.
Comics Division isn't bland. His radio voice can occasionally get grating, but when he's just using his regular voice, he's up.
Well, at least he admits the fact that if you can stand his voice. I don't do that at all.
He knows it's grating, and at this point, that's kind of the joke.
I'm told I have a radio voice. I mean, what am I supposed to say to that? Oh.
Like, it wouldn't be so bad if it wasn't so much like scratchier than his actual voice. Like,
yeah.
But, okay, so like, are we basing it off of like radio voices now too? I mean, like
we're basing it off personalities.
Well, he could do a like deeper Orson Welles impression if he really wanted to, I think, but he's entitled to whatever radio voice makes him happy. If he wants to do the Eric Cassell thing, then he can do the Eric Cassell thing.
You want bland Phantom Ranger? Oh wow, Smaxos is going all over the ground.
You're not a nice person. I'll be sure to tell Comics Division you've been saying shit about him.
Smaxo is just.
Smaxo's probably gonna add him after this.
When someone's like, "Hey, Smaxo called you the Phantom Ranger," he's like, "Okay."
He's like, "Whatever, don't care."
Yeah, you
Division even deep enough into Power Rangers to even get that reference?
No, Comics Division probably only knows Mighty Morphin, and that's pretty much it, most likely.
Wait, no. Maybe Yellow Flash might be in the same boat, and we gave him the Yellow Ranger. He might think he's Trini.
No. Actually, he does know more about Power Rangers.
Okay. I wasn't sure how much he knew. So
he knows about I think he knows as far as SPD. I'm not sure. He might know further than that, but he does know he knows more than Mighty Morphin. He does actually know quite a few. I've actually had a discussion with him about the Zeo crystals and shit like that. So
that's good.
Yeah.
Don't even know who the hell Phantom Ranger is.
I mean, Phantom Ranger doesn't even have an identity. He was always theorized.
That is the correct answer. If you don't know who the Phantom Ranger is, then yes.
One of them was that they wanted it to make it Billy as the Phantom Ranger.
It's funny because in Car Ranger, he's just the guy who gives them the upgrade to their cars.
Yeah.
He's just like, "Excuse me, here's the upgrade to your cars. Now I'm going to leave." What the fuck?
And then he appeared in space for 2 episodes.
Yeah.
I think even then was just to give them a power up.
Yeah.
I really would like to see Billy come back and be the mentor. That would be really interesting.
Yeah. It's like, yo, I've split up from my fish wife.
Because Lord knows Tommy gets to come back and be quasi mentor all the fucking time. Why not anyone else?
Oh god, yeah. I
love Tommy. He's still one of my favorite Rangers, but fucking hell, dude. Leave some nostalgia for the rest of us.
Yep.
For Dino Charge, it was originally theorized that they were going to bring Jason back as a mentor and then as the Silver Ranger, which would have been cool.
That would have been interesting.
Although it would have been weird, it's just I used to be a Tyrannosaurus Rex, now I'm a Brachiosaurus.
Power Rangers has been on long enough that
at this point,
back as mentors, so why not?
At this point, Tommy's been enough Rangers that we could just have a team of literally Tommy Rangers.
All of the Tommies.
He's been the red Turbo Ranger. He's been the white
Red
Zeo. He's been the White Ranger.
Red Zeo. The white Mighty Morphin, green Mighty Morphin, also the White Ninja Ranger, technically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's your team of 5. Oh, Black Dino Thunder, there's your 6.
There you go. Yeah, literally a 6-man. He's a 6-man team right there.
Yep.
If they want to pull that off, they probably could if they wanted.
Merge into a super battleizer mode, and it's just all
a team of Tommies. Oh god, it would be terrible.
Man. Tommy Sentai Tomaja.
That team though would never get anything done because they would all be trying to
I'm surprised nobody's supercut a morphing sequence to just be Tommy as every Ranger.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised as well because they could do it. The funny thing is,
imagine what a fight would sound like with his IAS. It'd be 6 people to it.
It'd be like
you hear it echo of
he'd always be trying to order himself around, and himself would just be like, no.
You hear an echoing of CKIs, all going off at the same time.
That's what I mean. It would just be. Oh god.
Think Exiles, but with Tommy. It's the cuckoo clock again.
No,
it is 12. That's why it's. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. We're sorry to keep you going here, man.
That's all right.
But, well, it's like 9 here. I was planning on ending it, so
yeah.
After all the fun we've been having, I think we will leave it here. We'll leave you wanting more. How's that sound?
Yes.
Yeah.
A shilling we will go.
A shilling we will go.
Next time on Comics Rangers.
Yes, the evil Lord Alonzo has returned.
Comics Gate Hydra. Someone make that a thing.
Yeah.
God. Believe you me, I actually want it to be a thing right now.
Thank you, Major Tom. Next time will be a version. Next time will be a version of In Space. DNC gets captured by Lord Alonzo. So a new team of comic skaters have to rescue him.
Henchman, the evil master of rewards.
Yeah.
Next week, will the peace conference actually finish?
No,
it'll never end.
That will be a 20 episode story arc of them stuck in a
entire
peace conference.
You
just see old man Jason there, just like, I've been here for 100 years. There's no way out.
Does that mean
Jason's the only one who got out?
I'm pretty sure no one else survived. Hell, it never ends.
Does that
mean Jason got out because he had the poster up and he like Shawshank to redemption to it.
Okay. Anyway, before we get into this again, Shilling.
Yeah.
Okay.
Does that mean he's going to die at the end? Who knows?
Oh my god! Should we all sign out from left to right or whatever?
Man.
Well, we could go to left. I'll let Tim start. Why not?
Oh, I'm on the left. I guess I am on the left.
Well, at least on my screen you're on the left. I don't know if that's opposite to me.
You know, I think you are always to the right, like whoever it is. That's probably why I'm all confused.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll go first. I am Tim Morris of Rawblink Productions. Check us out on Patreon or Twitter, just /Rawblink. That's the Patreon at least. We need help bringing Column, particularly Volume 2, to you. Volume 1 is on the way. And that's all I got to ask.
Support Column. If you take anything from this stream, support Column.
I mean, it's tanks and girls
from this stream because it's not off the stream, but
yeah,
also Column.
Switch is next.
All right. I'm Switchpoint. I do the comic book previews every week on my channel, where we do previews of the comics coming out on Wednesday. So come and check us out. We'll be doing that. And on occasion, I do get people to come on and I do guest interviews. I did actually have Tim on one episode. If you want to go back and watch it, it was pretty good.
That was fun.
It was. And we also got to, you also had to learn a little bit about Column while we were there because Tim was gushing about everything that was about the comic itself. And definitely help him on the Patreon page there because, it is a pretty awesome book. I got a review copy of the first issue, so it was pretty awesome.
All right. Next week, Comics Gate guys as JoJo characters. No, because I don't know what I'd be talking about. Anyway.
I could definitely name them.
We'll leave it. Then it'll be Chris's job.
We're all going to just be fighting over who gets to be Dio so we can do the meme appropriately.
All right, Dalton, you're next.
Alrighty. Dalton Mortimer at your service. I am the Authenticator. My channel should be getting some content within the next week or so. You can find me on the Twitter at the Authenticator, spelled without the U, and you can follow me just about everywhere else at the Authenticator, spelled properly. Cheers, everyone.
All right, Chris is next.
Yep, I'm Chris. Yes, I'm your professional sarcastic man in seeker of attention. I mainly just do comic book reviews and usually whatever. I do talk a lot more about tokusatsu stuff. I should have some more build stuff planned later on this week. Be prepared and excited. Yes, Mariana. Hail Hasbro. Yes, Hasbro is our new overlords. We will worship them. We will follow their doctrines. Hail Hasbro.
Yes, hail Hasbro. Or don't. It's up to you.
Know what it means? My Little Pony Power Rangers crossover.
I mean, Pony Rangers. Why not? Right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Let's.
Can I be the Twilight Princess Ranger?
That's what the Twilight Ranger.
Did we not just spend an hour almost just casting each other as Rangers?
So
how you know we're
that's
nerds,
next week.
ladies
That's next week's.
Next week.
Next week. MLP and Power Rangers. Should the crossover
the Brody Rangers? There you go.
The crossover that no one asked for.
Discord. I call Discord because Discord is fucking awesome.
Okay.
So yeah, that'll do it for tonight. For the Whatcha Toku about. I'll have to get used to saying that. Yep.
You got to do it in the you got to do it in the voice. Whatcha Toku about.
I don't know if I can do that.
Whatcha Toku about?
Don't forget the villains. We'll be sure to remember this for next week. No.
I thought there was already a hashtag that said I was the true villain.
The true villain is me. No.
All along.
Yep.
No, we did do some villains actually in the episode. It was pretty fun.
Yeah, it was fun. Anyway, yeah. Well, I'm glad you learned more about Power Rangers, Martin. I'm happy for you, I guess, if that was what you were interested in learning. Thank you for hanging with us. I do appreciate it. But yeah, we'll be back. I don't know when, actually. Do we have plans? We'll work out the plans. It could be next Monday, but
to be continued. ... Question mark.
Yes. Once we
end?
find a way out of the peace conference, we'll let you know.
Will our heroes find a way of the never-ending time loop of peace conferences? Find out next week. Or will you?
Or will you?
It's the small trap of peace conferences.
All right. So yeah, we're gonna wrap this up. Thanks everybody. Good night.